Hello everyone and welcome to episode 2 of Nautral Expansion. I'm Wardy and today I'm joined by a whole array of people.
NoRegreT.
What's this guy doing? This guy thinks...
I'm joined with NoRegreT and the rest. How are you doing, Wardy? Welcome to my talk show. So glad you could be here today with me.
You're the worst. I hate you. I thought you were going to be a good person to have on the show, but you're just the worst. So we've got NoRegreT, we've got Joe from NSGJoe Gamers, the Cheesadelphia Organizer, we got ZombieGrub, and we got Puck. Let's just go around, see how everyone's doing. Jake's basically done his bit. Joe, how you doing, mate? How was Cheesadelphia?
Pretty good. We actually had a really good turnout. Total Biscuit hosted us at the end, and we peaked at like 8,500 viewers. We're in talks with some really cool sponsors for the next event. So yeah, this was like a roaring success for us.
Awesome. We'll talk a bit more about it a bit later. Puck, how you doing? Is Puck dead? Has he just died?
He's gone.
He's gone. We've lost him.
He's passed out in
the Chinese have taken
Literally
him.
had one fucking job.
Puck's
Stay awake.
he's literally been here for like the last 25 minutes and he's just disappeared. That's incredible.
The
Great
one
time.
thing we need him to say, and he's not fucking here. So we'll just skip him, okay?
Sure.
Good talk, Rennie.
Okay.
He's okay.
ZombieGrub, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm at my vacation house.
You on vacation?
Yeah.
Wow. And
But
Jake...
it's like raining, so there's no beach weather. It's fine.
Fair enough. I was about to say Jake's ruining everything. Ruining vacations, ruining talk shows.
How? Oh, never mind.
Go on, Jake. You have so much to say.
No, this
Just say
talk show is pretty much carried by me, I'm sure. Alright, the first 3 or 4 minutes has already started, and I've already carried it. You know? That's just what I do. 40. You know? And I'm just
Shit.
memeing. I'm memeing. Okay, I'm just kidding everyone who thinks I'm full of myself.
No, I'm
Okay,
pretty sure it's
fine.
exactly what you like. Alright, so we're going to talk today a lot about tournaments, basically, because there's been... The last couple of weeks has been like full of tournaments, or this couple of weeks, or this month in general, I guess. DreamHack Valencia, we'll start off and talk a bit about that. We've got ShoutCraft, which has just happened. Obviously, Cheesadelphia just finished up as well. We're going to have the Chinese events to talk about, because there isn't just IEM, but there's also Neo Star League, which starts like the day after IEM. So there's a bunch of Chinese events, and then there is also the Korean events too. So basically, going to talk about that. We're also going to talk a bit about tournament formats today, which is kind of, I feel, a bit of an interesting topic because everyone kind of enjoyed the format from ShoutCraft Kings, and also there's like a lot of tournaments are changing their kind of formats nowadays and using less group stages and more single elim and stuff. So we're going to talk a bit about that as we go on as well. Hopefully, that's the plan at least. So we're going to kick off talking about DreamHack Valencia, which of course now is like. Was it 2 weeks ago now? DreamHack Valencia was, more or less. So, I mean, let's just do the kind of the obvious bit of it, which was kind of, I guess, NSGJoe winning the whole thing, which is, I think, not really too surprising in my eyes. I don't know what you guys thought, but NSGJoe's been like on top of his game for a long time in Legacy of Void. He's been the player to kind of watch for a lot of the events, and I mean, nice to see him take a championship because I think it's time that he got one in Legacy of the Void, really. Anyone feeling the same, or anyone that was shocked by NSGJoe's victory?
I mean, it's kind of to be expected from NSGJoe. He's been, he just always proves himself as like one of the best in Europe for sure. One of the best in the foreigner scene. And he's like, I feel like NSGJoe may not be the best player, but he's probably the most consistent player by far. Like, I see, like, there's like, people that have peaks above NSGJoe, in my opinion. Like, Showtime, obviously, is one, because he also won a DreamHack before NSGJoe. And then Neve also has his moments where it's like, holy shit, he's insane. He's, like, really fucking good. But NSGJoe is just consistently good. Like, throughout all of it. It's like, you also see, like, times where Showtime is worse and better. You know, like, they're all fluctuating all over the place. But NSGJoe, just straight line, always good player.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I think it was a bit of, I guess, maybe more of a story if we're going to talk about the finals, maybe Marine Lord. He, like, on the last day, just had, like, an absolute crushing run through the quarters and the round of 4. I mean...
Well, even the semi, he beat Neeb.
Yeah.
Yeah, and convincingly too.
Like, it was, like, not even close. It was, like...
But at the same time, I didn't feel like that was too much because of, like... I just felt like Neeb tilted off the face of the earth. Like, he just wasn't Neeb. It's just, it's just like a consistency thing. Like, he just wasn't consistent. He got, like, multiple build order losses, and then he just, like, tilted him off the face of the earth, I think. I'm not saying that Marine didn't play well, because he did. It just felt like Neeb wasn't playing like Neeb. Like, right before playing Marine Lord, he 3-0's Hydra, It's pretty impressive, but...
I agree, and it feels like... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I feel like the Marine Lord that showed up to Valencia was kind of the Marine Lord we haven't seen since that Korean all-kill. And, like, when he's on point, he just spikes and peaks so high.
Oh, yeah.
And then we saw the Marine Lord again in the final. Like,
yeah. But, like, beating like, Snoot 3-0, there's been, like, a big, like, I don't know, like, a topsy-turviness in the last, like, week, right? Where, like, Neeb has looked dominant, and then he goes to Valencia and gets 3-0'd, like, not looking like Neeb. But then we do the Ting replays, and he gets 3-0 by Bly as well, which is really weird. I mean, Bly did, like, a bunch of weird stuff. So just because it goes with, like, consistency, I suppose. And he's got to, like, bring it back, which it seems like he has in Shanghai, so like, great for him. But same thing with Snoot. Like, Snoot was like dominant. Like, it was stupid watching this guy win all his like versus Terrans, and then he gets 3-0'd by Marine Lord, and then he has a poor showing in Shanghai. It's like I don't know what it is.
For Neeb too. Like Neeb said his PvT was really good, and also he had some insane record against Bjorn. Like recently, it was like 6-1 or something insane, which Bjorn is like insanely good. But Marine Lord just like said, no, I don't care how good your PvT is, I'm just gonna win this. Same with Snoot. Snoot just like continuously says how good his ZVT is compared to everyone else. Not like bragging wise, but like he actually just comfortable with ZVT, which is not common right now for Zerg players. Like some Zerg players are starting to figure it out a bit more with the Queen buff, but at the same time it's still favored for Terran a little bit. Not by like the amount it was before, but And Snoot was just like always comfortable. Like he also had the results to back it up. Like where everyone else wasn't doing great besides NerChio and the other European Zergs. By the other European Zergs, I literally mean Snoot. It's kind of unexpected. At least you'd think to see some sort of closeness, like 3-2 or something. But it was just like clean sweep.
Yeah. I guess Neeb, recently has like felt the pressure, I suppose. Like, he made that tweet. Like, I actually don't know his like mental mindset. It doesn't seem like a guy that gets easily tilted, but then I definitely think he did versus Marine Lord. And Snoot, we all know, actually, that he does get tilted and he has his off weeks, like, mentally.
I think Neeb is very tilty. Like, even though... it's the same thing with Bly, where I really felt like Neeb was a very tilty person. Where, like, he lost the first build order and then, like, lost the second build order. I felt like all of them were build order losses, but he didn't change. Like, he didn't change to Bly. He was just playing Neeb. And Bly is like that one person that abuses you for playing like you. So it's just I don't know, it feels like he tilts very easily. And also the tweet really tells me he tilts like... Yeah,
this tweet was pretty real, man. It was like, wish people didn't put expect so much of me. I played my best. I'm not some kind of god. Like there's something like along those lines.
I haven't even won a tournament yet and people expect so much from me.
After living with him for a short period of time, I feel like he is confident in himself, but at the same time, not, which is hard to explain. But like he'll talk down about people specifically that he's confident against, but at the same time say he's also not good. It's like, oh, Hydra, easy, like, but I'm not good. I can only 3-0 Hydra. I'm not that good though. You know.
But like, how much of that is like youth and inexperience? I mean, Neeb's only been kind of this like terrifying main stage like god, so to speak, for like what, 6 months now?
Yeah. If we're talking online, who the fuck even beats Neeb? Like that best of 5 with Bly.
Yeah, but offline is very different.
Yeah, I'm talking about on the stage offline. Like I wonder how much of that is just being young and new to that.
Needs the experience, and he's not used to the pressure. And
he made Premier League a couple of times, but he never made it to like the main stage of Premier League, right? So even though he's someone who, even before Legacy of the Void, we knew was pretty good.
Terran, right?
He was with Protoss, was it? I think he made Protoss too. He did both.
I think he did it with both, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he never made it past like the studio is really.
Yeah, but at the beginning, the early, we can make the argument in the early days that he just didn't have much experience with Protoss at the time at all. Like he was still pretty fresh to switching, so it's hard to say like it was actually his experience or if it was just his skill level, because his skill level improved immensely after Legacy of the Blades release, like literally 2 different people. Yeah. So, yeah. Like, the reason why he didn't do well in Premier League, I think, could be completely irrelevant of, like, the experience and more about just the play.
Yeah,
but
okay. So everyone, I mean...
Brandon here?
I think basically just, yeah, is Brandon here? Has he returned? He's Brandon. Like, it's like he's trying to talk. It's like flashing up on Skype and it's just...
Yeah.
Maybe he just fell asleep and that's like him snoring or some shit. I don't know.
Maybe. Great addition. Maybe he'll show up, perhaps. So yeah, I mean, so Marino had like a sick run, got stumped by NerCheoe. I think we sort of covered that. I think the other main thing from Valencia to talk about, I mean, Pult fell to Showtime early. I don't find that so upsetting, although Pult's looked very good online the last week or so, but Showtime beating him, I think's fairly... I don't know.
I think that's fine.
Yeah, I don't think that's too surprising.
Pult is very like...
On and off?
Lately, I just feel... Yeah, on and off. And it really feels like it's depending on how much he practices. Like, I can't confirm that. I don't ask the guy, but...
I feel like Pult should have been more one-sided for Showtime. Like, I just...
Yeah, I agree. Well, wasn't Showtime really far ahead in Game 3 and then he, like, completely threw? I think it should have been 3-0 or 3-1.
There were a lot of times where Showtime was, like... in pretty good spots. And Pulse is really good at making comebacks. But I feel like Showtime should be outclassing Pult by quite a bit. Just like where I feel Pult is currently in like the scene of North America. Like he's not bad by any means, but he's not like Neve and Hydra and True, I guess.
He's not actually much of anything, to be honest. Like I mean,
compared
no, he'd be super BM, but like you talk about people in Legacy of the Void right now, and I feel like Pult's not one of them. He got big wins early on, so he's already going to BlizzCon, and for me that actually kind of sucks because I have not been that. It's not even like impressed with him; it's like interested in him, to be honest. Like I know a lot of Pult fans out there are gonna get mad at me, but like as far as like storylines for the last 5 months for Pult,
yeah, he won the.
I have no idea.
He won like the first Winter Championship, and then he's just like lost and lost. It's been like.
Is he like? What are his best results like since that?
I think he did well in ShoutCraft. He just won a Layfang Cup, but like they're like really. Did he got round of 8 in his WCS?
ShoutCraft's layout. Yeah, ShoutCraft.
Yeah, ShoutCraft's like complete different things. Yeah,
exactly.
Later, but no, but Pult will come in and like win stuff like when he feels he wants to. It's really weird.
He just
I didn't really want to play the finals. He did move.
Like I feel like that can affect your practice regime, like at least in the short term.
I don't think it should matter.
I mean that's certainly true, but he also has a girlfriend, which I feel is that
fucking girlfriends. That's fuck. Can we just kick Puck?
Yeah, can I kick Puck? Is that okay? Because he's echoing now.
Yeah, sure. I have to fix the webcams, but yeah.
Great addition.
All right.
Great fucking addition.
I'll fix the webcams.
Do you need the Protoss for the even balance wine? Because we can get feardragon on.
Yeah, sure. Let's get Ravi on.
Yeah, we should get Ravi on. But I fucking love Ravi.
Yeah. Okay. I think he's showering because I told him.
This is like a completely NA chat right now, except for Morty.
This is like Skype names.
And Morty with his English accent.
Yeah, I'm standing up against the Americans. I'm just trying to hold it down over here.
King is like honorary NA though.
Honorary NA? Why?
Well, you're gonna have to fix the camera again when Ravi gets here, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah, English.
Yeah, the cameras are gonna be dead for a while until Ravi arrives.
Okay.
That's okay. We can deal with it maybe. So the other thing about Valencia before we move on to whatever was next is that Raynor did really well, which was obviously a major talking point because he was the young kid. He was, I think he's still 14. Is he 15 now? I don't know, but he's under 16.
He didn't get any WCS points because of his age.
Yeah, he didn't get.
You don't get WCS points.
Because in the past they wouldn't let him play. I think in Leipzig they wouldn't let him play in Leipzig because it's a WCS event.
Yeah. And
at WCS events you've got to be 16 or over. But this event they changed it so that under 16s could play, and so. But if you played, you can't get WCS points, basically. Because I think under 16s could always play in DreamHack, but it was when it became a WCS event, it changed, or something along those lines.
Because people like Ari were playing way back in whenever. but they couldn't play in WCS because of the age restrictions.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still won money though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels nice.
Yeah, you
And
would like
I
top
honestly
8's like
think
2K.
A lot of the time, I mean, if the WCS points are kind of irrelevant if you're getting like at this point we're kind of late in the game anyways. Like if this was very early on, I'd be like, oh fuck, like this round of round of 8 finish is actually quite important for my WCS points. But at this point, if you're just starting out and you're just making your first round of 8, it literally doesn't matter. Like you're not getting invited because of your WCS points from a round of 8 finish.
With how many tournaments that are announced already, I suppose, and that are left, Montreal's already set with the players that they have, and I actually don't know what else has been announced. But I think you have to like win a tournament and get like a top round of 8. Like you have to do both if you're gonna skyrocket to the points.
I think after Shanghai, there's only like Montreal and the event in Mexico that are WCS events. I don't think there's any other ones.
Oh right, that event. Oh my
Yeah.
god, that event was so surprising. By the way, we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, we will. Because it's a bit out of nowhere. But yeah, so when, I mean, I was at Valencia and it was really cool to see. First of all, I saw Clem playing, and this guy, like, Clem is literally the tiniest kid you've ever seen. Like, he's like 14, but you could genuinely probably pass him off as being like 10 years old. So that is pretty insane. But Reynor is like really cool to like see his like family like sitting behind him and like cheering when he wins, and like they obviously like understand the game to some extent as well, because like they like understand when things are going well for him. He has like so much support, which is pretty cool to see. So pretty cool for like someone so young to come in and do well. I mean, take down. I mean, you look at his run, like Mana and Vortex, he took down in the round of 32 and 16. Like, I mean, Vortex hasn't been playing so much lately, but Mana has, and you know, it's really impressive for someone so young. Hi, Ravi.
Hi, how's it going?
It's good.
Hi.
Welcome. You can leave your webcam off because otherwise it's going to screw everything up. So if
Okay,
you stay
that's
like
good,
that, if you
because
stay like
I'm
that, you're perfect.
Still putting. Oh, thank you. This is my most
Great.
beautiful state.
So yeah, Bruno, good surprise. And that, I think, more or less wraps up Valencia. Anyone else have anything in particular they wanted to talk about Valencia? I think it was pretty. I don't think there was like that many shocks.
One thing.
Sure.
Massa getting cucked and fucked
getting
in the
cucked?
brackets. He got cucked. What
Did he
do?
really
Kick
though?
through
I mean,
his alarm or something?
he showed up late. That's not getting
worse than me
cooked.
not showing
I'm
up
reading
to
the wrong one.
WCS, honestly.
that I mean, it's his fault that he didn't show up on time.
He like
How's that
flew
getting
out.
cut?
Like at least to me, like I didn't have to fly somewhere to miss my event. Okay, I got fucked, but I didn't. Like he flew to that event.
Yeah, and he slept
late.
in. Like he messed up.
Yeah,
There's-
that's pretty. That could have been actually a pretty big deal. Like if he had not got invited to Montreal
Mm-hmm.
because of that WCS event, but he actually got invited anyway. So lucky him.
I mean, it's unlucky for him anyway because I mean he's in the contention at the top of WCS points as well. So I mean, he really needs to make sure that he does well, like at every event.
Yeah.
So going out in
I think
round
he
of
has to do
64
really
Yeah.
well.
at DreamHack
Well, I mean,
is
Can
like
we-
a big shock.
Okay. Yeah.
Can we talk about invites for WCS based on point standings? Because
Yeah, we
that's
can-
really weird to me.
Yeah,
Sure.
we should actually.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, let's
Like-
do it. Why is it weird to you, Ravi?
Maybe
Go
like
on, set the
tournament
scene.
So like, when you win a tournament at the beginning of the year,
Mm-hmm.
like the reason why I think a lot of people complained about like having so many invites in the past was that you would get these crowd favorites, and because they kept getting invited to go to these events, they would keep automatically getting WCS points. So like just by
Yeah.
the fact that they were invited
This-
all the
Oh my
time,
God.
they would keep going.
I remember
It's
like
like
Keon
Sasha
in 2013.
and me
Like,
actually talked about this too. So we were talking about how it would be smart if we started our year in North America because we could do well in the qualifiers or whatever, hit one good tournament, and then you literally could live in Korea and never play an online qualifier ever, and just keep getting invited. Because it's literally what Neve's doing right now. Like he's living here, but he never has to play cross server for the qualifiers. He just gets flown out to everything. So it's like best of both worlds, best of literally every world, because you don't have to play the online qualifiers. You get Korean practice, and any of the Chinese and like all these other events, it's like 2-hour flight away, and you don't have the fucking whatever the fuck. What is it called?
what?
Jet lag. Yeah.
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 I mean, you
Yeah.
were talking about Polt earlier, right? And I feel like that's sort of the situation Polt's in. Polt is number 2 in WCS points.
Yeah.
Because he he won the like championship for like at the beginning of the year, and after that he's just gotten like, oh yeah, I got like 45 points here, 30 points here. Like,
Isn't he never won?
I did a relatively okay here.
He won the Winter Championship in Katowice.
Yeah, and then took a third
Yeah,
fourth
yeah.
at the spring circuit championship. Those championships are like really heavy on points too.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like, I think the fact that the championships are so points heavy is maybe what skews it all, because you can literally have one good tournament and then you get to the next championship, and even if you don't go to the circuit events like Valencia and stuff, like if you do well in the championship, which is just like a single elimination bracket as well, like we'll go into it more in a bit more detail like when we go to tournament formats, but I just think like why do they need to invite them? Why not just have more qualifiers? Like, why not make it about performance?
I agree.
At that time, like
I think those
they're
people-
so set on like basing it on like a story,
Those
like
people should be good
oh
enough to get in anyways. Like,
yeah, exactly. That's the
So what's
thing.
really weird is that not every tournament even does the invites, and I can't figure out a pattern to it, because the summer, like the circuit championships seem to do the invites, but like DreamHack Austin didn't do invites, and like there's like 2 or 3 others if you look back at the premier tournaments this year, like they just didn't do the invites.
I think
I'm
it's just the
Format in general
championships.
is super confusing.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
the problem. There's no consistency, right? Like, you go from a championship to like a circuit event, and they both give points to the same thing, but they're both completely different at the same time. It's really... I think a lot of people have had issues with like consistency of like the format. Like the WCS qualifiers keep changing format as well, which is like making it hard to follow. Like even I don't understand like until the day of the qualifier what's meant to happen
my
and who
God.
qualifies where. It's really stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
so
as
Drew-
casters too, like we're
I wanna
getting
talk-
totally
yeah.
like sucked over. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, there's a whole thing with you recently, right? But just in general, like we started off the year barely casting anything because they actually had casters, and then they didn't
Yeah.
tell anyone. But suddenly we're back to casting everything, and we're like, "Are you? Is that a thing? Like, what are we
Oh,
doing
God.
here?"
Well, I got
There's been
told-
very little communication.
It's really
If you-
stupid
if
because
you,
for the Challenger League that just passed, on the day, like I messaged them like ages ago, like, oh, can I cast Challenger League? And they didn't reply. And then on the day I was like, hey, it's okay if I cast, right? And they were like, no, we've got plenty of English streams covering it, which was completely untrue because they had base trade and literally no other streams. So like 5 minutes before, I'm like, okay, well in that case I'm not going to bother, because last time I tried to stream when like ESL and DreamHack was streaming, it was just pointless, right? And then 5 minutes before they're like, oh, I suppose you can stream as long as you avoid all the other English streams. So I'm like, okay, you know what, fine, I'll give it a try. And there's literally one other English stream. I have no idea where the logic was in that.
It's very poorly run, and like if Stage's not around, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
so I have
you-
to say,
okay,
like,
so
with DreamHack,
DreamHack events.
DreamHack has no experience organizing online qualifiers. Like, if you look at the ESL ones, they've been pretty well done, because ESL has been organizing online qualifiers for StarCraft forever now. DreamHack, it's an open bracket event. Typically, people just show up and they only have a couple qualifiers for like the winter championship. So they don't kind of have that internal infrastructure to do a really good job.
DreamHack's communication is just terrible with everything. Like the players,
Well,
there's just I don't know, the online experience with DreamHack is like everything starts late. Fucking brackets are changed after they're like already published and shit. It's just like everything
it's
is
terrible.
so fucked. And then
And
I don't know about anybody else, but DreamHack doesn't. I don't know. I haven't been paid for any of the DreamHack WCS events, and they don't even give us information about it. So like the Challenger League is actually like not being paid by Blizzard; it's paid by DreamHack, and they don't tell you anything about it. So like, I had to chase down like 3 different people, and then I finally sent in like my passport, my bank information, and a bunch of other stuff, and I still. None of us have
Yeah.
received it. Like,
I mean-
not me, not Neeb, nobody. Like, it's just, I don't know. There's just the communication is terrible from DreamHack
it's not just
Online.
online qualifiers either. Like the qualifiers are terrible for players and casters and everyone involved, but it's apparently also offline issues as well. Like I was talking to Scarlett about it. That, like communication with players literally going to events. So Masa, I think he just slept in, right? But
Yeah.
that actually, when I first heard about it, I was like, oh, what did they do? Because apparently it's really terrible. Like they're not taking care of their players, which has always been an issue, I suppose, the last 6 years, is like players not being quite vocal enough, I suppose, about how well or how badly they're treated. But apparently this year it's like much, much worse.
I think it's just communication. Like, there's just lack of communication altogether with players. And, like,
Yeah.
everyone's left in
Yeah.
the dark for, like, everything.
Well, They went from like Blizzard controlling everything last year, and then everyone saying like you should not do that. You should go back to weekend tournaments. To going back to weekend tournaments, and I really feel like I don't know. There's like a communication breakdown between Blizzard and DreamHack and IAM, or if DreamHack and IAM were just like I don't know, like stubborn children and like didn't want to. Like I have no idea what happened there, but like it's flip flopped, and there's something going on there that you can blame. But
yeah,
it is.
There's just somewhere along the line there's like a lack of communication, and like it's fucking everyone up. I do know that the WCS ran like when I feel like when Blizzard actually runs the tournament, there's very little like communication. Also, ESL is always pretty good at running events. Like I think
ESL ones are the best. Like from a community caster point of view, it's always well organized, well in advance. You know exactly what's going on.
Admins are always there. I feel like DreamHack admins just peace out half the time. Like it's just hard to keep up with everything.
I got told the other day that DreamHack, I think it was one of the admins said that he wasn't initially meant to be adminning, but he just 2 minutes 2 minutes before the tournament, he was like, "Hey, people are asking me who the admin is," and they're like, "Oh crap, I forgot. You can admin it."
He got
what?
So we asked to cast it.
Literally,
Actually,
this happened. Like,
so we
yeah. Joe told me about this. So Joe, go for it.
So we asked if we could cast a Challenger because there was no stream information, and I asked someone that was associated with DreamHack, and he went and asked Steho, and Steho was like, "Oh shit, you need to admin this tournament." So like us asking them the stream schedule reminded them that they need to run the tournament, and like that's kind of the. Like, I think that's like a little microcosm of like how fucked up DreamHack has been since this started.
It's a bit of a
This
mess.
is why DreamHack events start an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes into the start time. Like, this is the problem.
Unorganized, lots of
crazy.
miscommunication. Like, this would be the one thing that I would really like to see. Like, especially if Blizzard's going to invest a lot of money into like esports with DreamHack and everything. Like, I just feel like it should be more professional. Like, This isn't like the first time. If this was a one-time thing, who the fuck cares? Whatever. It's, people make mistakes. People are fucking unorganized. It doesn't matter. But literally every single DreamHack online qualifier is delayed. There's fucking bracket delays. There's no admin at some point in the fucking middle of the place, so you're chasing admins down. And it's not like a self-submitted bracket either. So the admin has to update the bracket. Has to. Like, you cannot continue your bracket if you don't have it updated by an admin.
Yeah. I will say, like, we can't talk about anything we talk about the Blizzard Summit and blah, 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 like, secrets, but, like, it was disappointing to see the last time this happened. There's actually, as far as I saw, really no Reddit threads about it. So actually, to a certain point, I guess I can say that Blizzard doesn't realize how bad it was. So, like, make Reddit threads when shit like this happens. I mean, I remember back, like, when MLG fucked up qualifiers, there was, like, the entire Reddit, like, subreddit was full of threads about that. But it's really kind of died off, and I feel like some of that is just because people might expect it to be the norm, because we're 7 months in. They're like, what is it going to help? But it actually does, like, and that's, like, mainly where they're getting a lot of, like, their community people are going to see, like, what's the buzz. So if you guys are, like, really fed up, like, post chat logs about how stupid this is and whatnot.
There should be a Team Liquid thread where you just post and say, like, I didn't get paid.
You're right.
The one thing that's really like odd is the DreamHack not paying. Like ESL paid immediately with Challenger, and that was like
that is really weird because surely it's by Blizzard.
But DreamHack literally hasn't paid Neeb, who came first in both online qualifiers. Like this is like $2,600+, and this is from months and months and months ago. I don't know when spring qualifier was. Like spring, it's July, So I don't know, maybe like March. April, May, June, July, like that's 4 months of not being paid is kind of a lot of money. I don't know.
It's weird because Blizzard is paying for all of it, so like the money should be on
the money's
on their
balance
sheet.
Is it weird, guys?
As someone who is now getting money from Blizzard, I will tell you it is a very long process.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not even like you shouldn't expect it to get better.
All right.
Like
it doesn't matter.
I signed all this stuff for Ladder Heroes like months ago, and I still haven't actually gotten the money yet. And it's not because there's been a lack of communication, though. It's because there's just a really long process and a lot of documents to sign.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move back on track a little bit. We're going to go back to... I mean, we sort of dipped into tournament formats, but we'll kind of dip back into it. let's keep on.
We've been in tournament formats for a while now.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah, but let's go and do some recapping then. I like to recap. Okay, that's how I roll. Right. I mean, the event I want to talk about next is ShoutCraft, because ShoutCraft obviously was probably the biggest success of a StarCraft tournament in a long time. I mean, considering it's online and it pulled like 30,000 plus viewers is just insane. It's like I can't think of the last time there was an online tournament with 30,000 viewers. Can anyone come close?
No,
ShoutCraft.
definitely not.
Yeah, I think maybe ShoutCraft.
Yeah, the most.
Yeah.
Kept that is
I don't know why
10,000.
ShoutCraft does so well for an online event. Like,
It's Total Biscuit as a, I mean, part of it is just
I-
Total
Oh.
Biscuit as a huge fan
Like,
base. It's a big starting
yeah,
point.
yeah, yeah.
I actually
Yeah, but
I
at
have
the
like a
same
ton
time,
of like
Total Biscuit-
opinions on it.
Little Biscuit doesn't pull 30K on his own. Like,
No.
it's
Yeah.
obviously our community by majority. But at the same time, yeah.
Let's hear it from ZombieGrub, because
Honestly, I love ShoutCraft. I think the format's awesome. Like the whole thing is awesome. But yeah, it's
I
crazy
don't know
to see
about
some-
previous Shoutcrafts, to be honest, because I actually wasn't nearly as interested in those. But this Shoutcraft made a ton of sense as to why I got 30,000 views, in my opinion. Like, if it got 50,000, I still like only be like mildly surprised, I suppose. But even that would be like offline tournament, and that would be. But yeah, like a big portion is from Total Biscuit. Fans, like his core audience, is at least like I want to say like 5,000 people will tune in to watch him do anything at all, right?
Yeah.
And then you got people that want to watch Koreans, and it's finally actually happening. Every dickhead on StarCraft Reddit that has been like, "Where's the global events?" or like they're like, "Thank God, Total Biscuit. Okay, we're gonna come and see you." People love Total Biscuit, so if they see that like, hey, Total Biscuit's casting again, they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, I haven't seen him in like a year because I didn't watch Austin. Let's go watch him." Like. And then, what other type of people are there? There's just people, of course, the core StarCraft 2 audience. And I know in a big event, you can grasp about 10,000 online from them. So that's a big portion of it that just want to watch it. And it was beautifully timed, too, in my opinion. Like, the timing was good. You had Koreans up as late as, like, 4 a.m. for their time, but you could still watch it if you were on the East Coast of the United States, or even the West Coast. And everyone avoided it, or tried to.
He did really good at building hype too. Like he built the hype along like a decent
Yeah,
amount
he had all those
of
videos
time
coming
where he
out.
was,
Like everyone knew about
teasing
it.
out.
Plenty of fans.
Yeah.
It's once a month too. If this thing's once a week, I think it's like 30,000, 20,000, 10,000,
Yeah.
and then kind of
Yeah.
meanders
It starts to
around,
lose
you
its
know?
novelty. It's like,
but it
oh,
also
okay.
had like so many storylines like within the event, which also helps it too. Like throughout the day,
Yeah.
like
The
Nurture
surprise
winning.
players were amazing.
Yeah. It was. I think I'm actually not surprised at all that I got 30,000. Like, if any event was going to get 30,000, I think that'd be one of it. Apparently, it's got in the chat.
The format may be better for like viewing experience, but at the same time, it's like a very luck-based format because it's best of one, and
Oh
it's
yeah,
kind
for
of like
players, it's like
if you get placed into innovation, like well, fuck. But if you get placed into Stefano, it's like okay, well, they're not innovation, you know.
Yeah, but
So,
it's not
like-
asking like a huge amount of time out of you either, right? Like it's
Yeah,
basically
right.
asking you
It's
to
just-
start
Well,
playing at a
well-
certain hour
Oh.
and then keep winning money until you lose. It's not like you're dedicating your day like a.
But the point is, you just be fucked by like, oh, I'm playing Mario. Well, I didn't get any other shots. Mario is my one single best of one. GG. Or it could be like TLO or Stefano.
Yeah, sure, but that's. I mean,
not Mario.
let's hold
Yeah.
like that part of it for when we go back to tournament formats, because that's like one of the main things. That's
organized.
Yeah, this is like
What
why
is
my
a
whole
recap?
this is what my whole plan based on. As a recap, it was really good as an event. I think it had storylines and everything. Like Stefano went huge. I mean, I'll bring up the matches here. I mean, right from the start, Pult came out and started beating a few players. Then like players like Deer and Doc start coming out as well. So already like right from the start, you're seeing like the top players from Kesper, like the people want to see that they haven't been able to see for ages. So it's pretty it's pretty crazy. And then like the foreigners come in and Nurture starts winning. Stefano beats Björn and Hero. Like, and then Innovation comes out as well. And,
Pretty fucking crazy.
I mean, everything was just perfect for it, right? I mean,
The craziest part is Stefano's run is ended by TLO. Like, not to shit talk TLO. TLO's a fucking amazing person. But like fucking Björn and Hero go down and it's like, oh, who the fuck is Stefano gonna slay next? And then he like gets knocked out by TLO.
Jake, you're
It's like, oh,
Jake, you're
that's
turned
what
into a
I'm
robot
expecting.
again.
Yeah, but I feel like TLO's always been a bit of like a ZVZ specialist. Like he's always felt more confident in that matchup than maybe everyone else does.
Sure,
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
also
you can
should
say
also
you can make the
Nurture
exact
too,
same
before
point about Nurture losing to Stefano. Like,
God.
you know,
Yeah.
Nurture beat Deer and Gumiho, and then he lost to Stefano. But like, the whole thing just played out for like really good viewership, I think. So, I mean, it was nice to see like so much support for like. I think you can tell it's a successful event when you go on our StarCraft and like literally every post on the front page is about ShoutCraft. Like,
You know what would be sick, like amazing, fucking Korea versus the world again. You know, like I feel like it'd be a lot closer this time, and it's just like what the fucking StarCraft team wants is like some more global events. Or like Korea versus the world would be really interesting, I think, because
I think
like
that's
everyone
the biggest story for BlizzCon, though.
yeah,
That is like the
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, we've
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
we talked about this, and the
I
lack
suppose
of
that's
global
true.
events might make BlizzCon even more appealing. I still want more global events, but whatever.
But that's like, I mean, League of Legends has like 2 or 3 global events a year aside from Worlds, and like they have the MSI and they have a couple IEMs, and other than that, it's just Worlds. And I think that builds to their favor because everyone is like fucking hungry to see the Koreans play Foreigners, and everyone tunes in, even people that might have fallen out of the scene because they want to see like the best Westerners take on those Koreans.
but the
Not
problem
only
is that
some
we
people
went
just wanna see
from.
Koreans. Like,
But the problem
you
is
just don't see
from
Korean players.
we went from having like foreigners versus Koreans like at least once a month last year with all the events to now just non-existent at all, and that's why there's an outcry, because if you kind of take something like that away from people, they're gonna want it back, surely.
So, yeah, I think
Honestly, I
the
think it's
additional
important.
reason for the outcry is that Apollo kind of alluded. He didn't necessarily promise. I can't remember his exact wording, but he kind of alluded to the fact that there would be.
Yeah.
And then, what isn't that much of a secret anymore? I don't think so anyway. Is that they thought there would be more, but things have fallen through. So that I think was the biggest bummer. Like you go in immediately and say like there's not gonna be any global events till BlizzCon. People are gonna be like that sucks. But I mean at least you can look forward to BlizzCon. But it was kind of like when's it happening? When's it happening? When's it happening? I mean even Hot 6, it didn't happen. So
Yeah.
there's been a lot of like falling through tournaments.
Yeah, I mean the NSL is going to have parting, so that's technically a Korean.
That'll be kind of interesting. We'll get to NSL as well later. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm
just a fault.
Go on, Ravi, please.
Go ahead.
No. You go ahead. I was just gonna.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, just to follow up, like, before we transition topics too much, on the whole viewership thing for Total Biscuit's ShoutCraft Kings, do you guys think that there is any other online event that can repeat the success? Like, maybe not even 30,000, because, of course, Total Biscuit has a ridiculous pull himself of, like, ZombieGrub said, like, 5,000 people core audience. I think it's, like, closer to 10. But do you guys think any other online event can get, like, 20 to
Nation
30,000
Wars.
viewers?
Nation Wars, yeah.
Nation Wars actually got, like, I think someone just said in the chat, it was, like, 60k or
around
something over the streams. So Nation Wars did do that, and that was like, but was that really an online event for the finals? And because it was offline, well, it was online, but they had like a big offline setup, right, with all the casters there. It's kind of a
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Is everyone else just doing something wrong, or like?
Well,
what do you think?
It's just so hard to get that level of players who take it like super serious as well, and that's the thing. Like, the format really captures these players to like play their best, because in a lot of online events, these Koreans are not gonna, like, I can tell you, like, you can watch a Leifang Cup or something, and SOS will turn up to play, and he'll lose to, like, some Chinese player, because he just isn't gonna play his proper builds. He's not gonna take it super seriously. Like, he'll play, like, half-assed, and, like, maybe towards the finals he'll play proper, but if he wins money. But if he doesn't care. He's kept his builds for GSL and stuff. And that's the problem, because usually in online events, Koreans are so scared of using their builds because they focus so much on Star League and GSL. But with this event... Well, yeah, but Beyond's an exception.
He just uses the same
Sure,
but every single day for the last year,
but like,
the last couple months, just every single day, same build,
but in general,
finals, win.
Yeah. But in general, though, like, this format is really good because the Koreans play one best of one at a time. Like, playing a best one for $250 is like, you can use a better strategy. You can take it pretty seriously. Total Biscuit has integrity, so your replays aren't going to get out there as well, which I think is a big thing too. I don't know. I think it's
just like strategies in general are used more in like lower numbers of best of. Like best of one, you could do some crazy ass shit and beat people that are way better than you, right? But you can't do the same shit the next
you
game,
would know,
right?
Jake.
So like in a best of three, usually more consistent player wins. But in a best of one, you could do some crazy ass shit and get away with it.
Sure.
Which is why I fucking love best of one format. Like that's when you see strategy. Yeah.
I don't know what to say. I mean, the 13-12 god just wants every tournament ever to be best of one.
They-
Cool.
I should've been-
Your games are short enough as
Okay,
it
I could've
is. We don't
done
need to make them
well. I
shorter.
could've done well.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. A best of one tournament without me isn't a best of one tournament. Is all I'm saying. Okay.
Okay. All right. Before we move on from ShoutCraft, what was everyone's favorite part of it? Let's start from Joe. Let's go. Favorite part of ShoutCraft.
I was running Cheesadelphia, so I didn't watch any of it.
So your favorite part was getting hosted by TB. Perfect.
Yeah, my favorite part was getting hosted by TB. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Shout out.
ZombieGrub, what was your favorite part of ShoutCraft?
Actually getting to wake up and watch it at like 11 a.m. It's
Fair
good
enough.
times, literally.
Jake.
Going to sleep to Total Biscuit's voice.
Okay. feardragon, what was your favorite part of ShoutCraft?
Okay, I have a real answer, unlike these scrubs.
Thank you.
Jeez.
Finally.
I think the most impressive part about it to me is not something that really gets talked about a lot, but like as someone who organizes tournaments and amongst other people who have organized tournaments or show matches, getting 25 players to all assemble and show up and nobody no-showed or anything like that.
It's
And
incredible.
For an
Yeah,
event
Robbie,
that
you know, I actually
like-
agree with you. Fuck the players.
like
Those
8 to
players
9
are
hours.
fucking assholes. All of them should just kill them. I mean,
No, like
Players
that's
versus casters. Players versus casters.
But I mean, like seriously, okay. I know that he talked about this in his recap, that there were like groups of 5 people he would have like to say like show up at a particular time, but that's still like you're like
that's
5
just- well,
players.
That's just being organised, though. That's like coming up with a
I know,
solution to an issue. It's still
That's
amazing. I
really
agree.
Impressive though. That's really
Yeah,
impressive.
no, I
like,
agree. I completely agree with you. Like for the whole thing ran so flawlessly. Like they had between each game there's like 3-4 minutes while they set up the next player and whatever. Very rare, about 5 or 6 times throughout the day they took like a break with some music in between games as well. But I never, there was never a point where you're like, God, when's the next game gonna start? Because they were really good at filling time and stuff as well. Like the whole event, I genuinely feel like this was probably one of the more flawless online events we've probably ever seen. I can't think of an event that like really rivals it in terms of
it's
just
really hard to
execution.
coordinate cross-server stuff too, and they just did it flawlessly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, it was perfect.
No, I
Also,
agree. I'm the same as Ravi. I think just like getting players like that many players to show up and having no organization issues and just like the execution of it was just like made it really enjoyable to watch because you could just sit down, watch it, and just literally just watch it because like nothing would take you away from the games. It was good.
yeah, and they were sick games too. 'Cause
Yeah,
they were
exactly.
smart and everyone wants to see that shit.
Yeah, it was good. All right. Let's move on. Let's very quickly, before we go into a tournament format discussion for real, let's very quickly talk about Cheesadelphia, which also used a different tournament format, which is why I would like to do it before we talk tournament format.
Honestly,
You know what? You really?
terrible.
You don't like it?
It's
So
fucking
before
terrible.
we start, the format is Swiss format, which is barely ever used in StarCraft. I can't think of the last time I saw a Swiss format event.
The Side Storm lane used it. That's actually where we got the idea from.
Okay, there you go. Sidestorm.
The side
Okay.
storm land.
So basically, the group
Sidestorm.
stage was on day 1. It's Swiss format, and everyone played 5 or 6 matches, best of 3, and then as you win, you get placed against other people who won. And so it basically comes out with like a ranking system between all the players, and then you go into a playoff system. So I mean, Joe, talk to us a little bit about why you use the system, maybe because you're the organizer. So
Sure. So for Cheesadelphia, and this like weirdly kind of changed as we got really close to the event, but we don't have like a lot of sponsor money. Most of our money comes from player signups. Players pay $50 to sign up.
Mhm.
So we wanted to choose a format that would give kind of like your average diamond guy like enough games where he felt like it was worth dropping $50 even if he's going to lose most of his series. Swiss format offers that because no one gets eliminated until day 2 and everyone gets to play 5 or 6 series, even if some of those series are like statistically insignificant. So that was basically the rationale behind it. And I mean, for that reason alone, it worked. When we announced Swiss format, I saw a bunch of signups and these of non-pro players, and they weren't people that had signed up before. So there were definitely people that were on the fence that choosing Swiss format pushed over the fence. So in that regards, it was definitely a success.
What
Alright,
about the
cool.
finals? The finals. How did it? Was it double A? How did it go?
The finals. So day 2 was a 16-man single limb bracket. We seeded the top 16 into it.
Okay. Much better than this first fucking Cheesadelphia cooking.
So the reason, guys, the reason that Jake is a little bit upset by the previous format, we did double limb extended series, and he killed Bales in one series, and then Bales came and spanked him because, as we talked about, the better player wins.
Basically, I got cut by a silly bracket where I have to win 2 best of 5s, but my opponent has to win 1.
Because
Is that-
Bales beat you earlier in the bracket.
Because you had the loser's bracket.
They only get
We
one
know how
game.
that works. We all live in
Why would you get 1 game advantage? Even if you had 1 game advantage, I still would have won the whole thing. So it was kind of.
I think
Okay.
the moral of this story, Jake, is that you just need to get better. I mean, I don't know how else to look at this.
What do you? Aren't you
It's a fair
impressed?
thing to tell players.
Come on, Jake. It's Jake. He
Anyway.
understands. Alright, to very quickly talk about Cheesadelphia. True won the whole thing, if you guys didn't catch it. He took down Colorzer 4-1 in the finals. I think that probably the most exciting thing for me in this bracket was OMG a Banana taking a map of True in the round of 8. Like, I mean, I don't know who Oh My God a Banana is. Did anyone know who OMG a Banana is before this? Like, I mean, he's an NA player, so did anyone hear of him in the past?
So his
I've cast him before.
team was
Yeah.
telling me he was going to break out there.
Really? Okay.
God, banana.
That's pretty sick.
I don't
Was
know how
his
you
team?
say that. Team Ascension.
Yeah, he's on Ascension, right?
Oh,
Yeah. Travis was telling me. Lucky,
So-
some of their better players were saying OMG Banana. Like, he's a
I-
really good
I-
player and he might break out here.
I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know. Did OMG Banana play anyone else in the group? Like, obviously his seeding must have been pretty shitty if he played against True really early on, right?
Yeah, so unfortunately, like, the seeding got a little bit messed up because DreamHack announced their qualifiers the night before, and I just had to try my best to let players play in both. It ended up that like Bales took a walkover that he probably shouldn't have, and so did Kellizer. So they still made it to the bracket stages, but the seeding got really fucked up because we had to walk him over because they were playing WCS.
But, like, he
Yeah.
also beat
Kellizer
some
wanted to
other.
play.
He beat some other.
Yeah,
decent players,
I'm
like,
looking at the bracket. He beat
end
Ruff.
of line, and like he beat Ruff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and I mean,
Banana.
so like OMG Banana, his game 1 against True was like really close and winnable too, and like both games were macro games. It wasn't like he like did some dumb cheese. He played out of his mind.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty
That's-
cool. I mean, that was like my highlight story because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch all of Cheesadelphia, but like, I mean, I actually heard about this happening. I think it was while ShoutCraft was on, right? So I think I was like heard about it happening. I tuned in, and this guy's like eating a banana on stream and like going crazy. It was pretty sick.
Oh yeah, when we cut to him like after he won, he just like downed a whole banana and was like,
Down
oh.
the banana.
So he was a charismatic guy too.
All right. Anyone?
Can I-
Sure, feardragon,
Yeah.
please.
so one thing that is really interesting to me about Cheesadelphia, that I think doesn't necessarily get talked about. I know you mentioned in your like recap, Joe, was the fact that you guys felt like you were profitable from everything. And I think, and I'm gonna ask you really quickly before I proceed, like, I'm assuming most of the profit came from like ticket sales, right? For players playing in the event, right?
Yeah, so I mean, I can break down like roughly like 70% of our money came from signups. We would not have been profitable just from signups. We got some sponsor money from like corporate sponsors, and then like some individuals like Wisecracks and Archnog just wanted to help out the tournament. Without those, we would have been a little better than break even, but it wouldn't have been like a roaring success. Thanks to Sloth Esports for helping us out also. And then a lot of spectator money too. Water is insanely profitable. If you run an offline event, go to Costco, buy like 5 cases of water. It's like $3 a piece. And I could have sold 5 cases of water and I could have made $300.
I'm gonna give you a fucking huge tip here, okay? I actually have a lot of experience when it comes to profit. I'm gonna go with, there's this currency system in esports right now that's actually trending quite a lot, and it actually probably is insanely profitable. It's actually called the Snickers. The Snickers is like CSGO betting for tournaments where this shit is unregulated. It's fucking crazy. Okay, just wait for the government to crack down on the Snickers illegal betting. But basically, if you have like Snickers for $1 at your event, you're set.
Yeah, but you ever try to buy Snickers? Like the cheapest you can buy candy is like 89 cents a piece, even in bulk. Like fuck candy. Candy sucks.
Okay, then make it $2. I don't know if you can do.
I did, and no one bought it. You're like telling me to do things I did. No one bought candy.
You had Snickers and no one bought it.
Snickers.
It must be a European thing.
Jake, I think your Home Story Cup memes are falling flat on their face right now. Like really flat.
Snickers seem pretty profitable. They made them free though, and fucked us completely. But whatever.
You still owe me a best of 5 for 5 Snickers. So
5 Snickers.
Yeah, next Home Story Cup.
Like
yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's still Snickers. If you can still get.
I told them that they should make the Snickers a dollar again on the return, so that we can actually use them as currency. I didn't break the Snickers market. The Snicker market crashed on its own. It wasn't my fault. Don't you put this shit on me.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. But can I finish with that?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I completely.
Sorry, Robbie.
So I think the coolest thing about that is, like, I know Joe's saying, like, he wouldn't have totally broken even just from the ticket sales for, like, other players. But what is really always been a bit weird to me about grassroots StarCraft is that even grassroots StarCraft relies heavily on sponsorship money to run. Mm-hmm. And that really weirds me out, because I feel like most other grassroots esports, they rely on signups and, like, entry fees to run, like, a lot of the offline events and everything. And I wonder if, like, this is that untapped market, especially doing things like the Swiss format, where it's like, hey, I might get matched up versus true first round or, like, second or third round or something, and I'll just be knocked out. That really sucks. Like, I've had that kind of experience in, whatever, an MLG or, you know, even my Cheesadelphia run. I was like, oh, cool, I hit Fat Cat Chef, like, GM level player. Let me see if I can cannon rush and not get knocked out, like, immediately. Like, that feeling sucks, but having the Swiss format's really a smart way to, I guess, like, market it toward other players that are, like, a lower level.
It's very similar to my like the plan to keep the team league aloft, because the team league obviously runs with sponsorship money, but a big part of making the team league work is by taking sign-up money. So, like, teams pay, like, the first division teams pay like €20 to enter, and the second division teams pay like €5. And it's only like a few €100, but, like, it still adds up to, like, making, like, a good chunk of the prize pool. So it's something which I think, like, a lot of tournaments could definitely do if they adjusted their format to make it work. Because obviously, like, no one wants to pay money to come in and get, exactly as Ravi said, you don't want to come in and get 2-0'd, you're done. And it's, like, similar to, like, the UK lands we have, like, they generally do, like, larger groups to give everyone games. Like, so it's not Swiss format, but they put us into, like, 4 groups of 6 or 7. So you still get 6 or 7 best of 3s before you get knocked out. So even though you're paying to kind of play in the tournament, you get the enjoyment of actually playing some games. Like, I agree.
Yeah, it's really important, because no one wants to go, like, at least if you go there and lose, like, a couple games, a couple series or whatever, and you actually play your heart out or whatever, it's not so bad. But if you just go there and lose, like, one fucking player best of 3, and it's not even a good best of 3, you're gonna fucking hate it. And, like, you're gonna be sad for the rest of the fucking tournament. But you have lots of chance to kind of, like, show some good games if it's more than just one series, which is kind of nice for everyone.
And there's
especially,
money
like,
in it.
Even the better players enjoy that more, because then it's not like you can get fucked by, like, unlucky, or, like, an unlucky best of 3 or something. Like, the chances are you're still gonna win if you're, like, considerably better, but, like, we don't mind playing extra games, and it's just, you know.
Would you guys?
Would
you guys like to see something like DreamHack replace the first 2 group stages with a Swiss format? What do you guys think about something like that?
So Swiss format, like, one caveat that we ran into, Swiss format is really, really hard to run if you don't have more computers than players. So, like, I actually, like, looking forwards, I would maybe try to find a happy medium, which would be, like, round robin groups, where people get, like, 4 series. Just because you're cycling out players constantly, and that adds, like, a huge amount of downtime. And you can't, it's not like a bracket where you can start the next round as the current round is being played. Each heat has to complete completely before the next one because of how it calculates who plays who. So I don't think it would work at a bigger tournament. Like, it works for us because we dedicate a whole day to groups. It takes longer, basically.
I see.
That brings us very nicely feardragon, thank you, into tournament formats, which
You're welcome.
I do want to talk about because
Well, we've
I mean,
been doing tournament formats for like the last 20 minutes.
yeah, sure, I know, but like,
We've been
let me
into it.
well,
We've been into it already.
well, let me talk about why exactly I want to like.
It's fucking unprofessional.
You know
shit.
what, Jake? You're the worst. I thought this was going to be really fun with you. The only good
This
thing
fucking-
you've
talk
done
show.
is motivate me to actually do this today. So, right.
Let's talk show, guys.
Right. Basically, what I want to say is that I think tournament formats have changed a lot in Legacy of the Void. Because in Legacy of the Void, we've suddenly had every single tournament seems to have changed. So DreamHack's dropped a group stage and added single elimination earlier. And then the same with IEM. IEM has dropped a group stage and added single elimination. So what I want to know is why are tournaments all of a sudden dropping group stages to create single elimination early? Because the players definitely don't like it. I mean, I don't know about you, Jake, but I think it kind of goes back to what Jake just said. You don't want to get unlucky with a single best of 3. Like, in IEM, for example, let's take Snoot versus Euthermal. Snoot is in a single elimination bracket. He's meant to play Pilly. Pilly has to cancel. Euthermal comes in as a replacement for Eozim. Now, Snoot can definitely beat Euthermal, but it's unfortunate that his replacement is arguably stronger. I mean, not to be harsh to Pilly, but
It's unfortunate in every way. I would be so
Yeah.
mad if I was Snoot. Like,
Okay, sure.
especially if I was practicing for Pilly in particular. Like, that would be the worst. Like, having Pilly replaced by someone who's actually considered better than Pilly. I don't know.
But why? Sure, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say. Well, I know that they changed all to best of 5, and I feel like we're totally responsible for that. So you're welcome. That was a big change from Heartless World Legacy of the Void. But I mean, a lot of people are gonna throw out like viewers like it more if it's a single elimination tournament, which is debatable, and we could debate that if you would want. But I really feel like with how, let's say, committed DreamHack and IAM have been to StarCraft 2 with all the admin problems and whatnot, that it's more about a time issue and an organization issue. But that's just like my initial feeling. That it's easier to organize and hype up, because we had like the Apollo making those videos about the hype of Shanghai. Where really, if you want to hype up a 4-man group, it's a little more difficult. So
Yeah, that's
and
Yeah, and
double
there's
elimination
also
take
the
a lot
whole, like,
longer.
I do feel like viewers actually like single elimination more. Like, I think they like the idea of like someone being out, like this match meaning more than just like, like someone's tournament life is on the line. Like it sucks for the players. Like yeah, it does.
It
And there's a lot of
is-
pressure, but
It is debatable
Yeah.
though, because like I was thinking as a viewer what I want to see, and like chances are I want to see I want to wake up and see Scarlet has lost the first group, part of the group, but then she came back, in the finals. I think that's actually more dramatic for me if I was to think. But maybe to other people, you're right. Like if Scarlet versus Snoot is happening in the first round, they're gonna make sure to wake up for that time. Whereas if it's a group stage, maybe they're gonna wait a little bit longer. I actually have no idea.
it's hard to say. Yeah, I also think it's debatable. Like I don't think you want your favorite player to just get knocked out. Like obviously you don't want that to happen, but at the same time, it does build like more of a drama, more of a storyline if someone gets eliminated and has like a really good single elimination run, like Brainlord in Valencia, where he was like taking out everyone all the way up to the finals. Like I don't know.
But I think
Honestly, if that was double elimination, who knows? Brainlord probably would not have made it to the finals again. Like there's a lot of possibilities, right?
I just feel as though like when I'm watching, I don't like seeing two top players hitting each other really early, because I feel that takes. I mean, I think the earlier that can happen, and one of them is definitely eliminated, is worse for the tournament. Because if you got these guys falling early just because they hit each other in the brackets, whereas in a group they'd both advance to the next round or something, I think that's really that's my main gripe with it. Because later in the tournament there's still bracket luck involved. There's always bracket luck involved, but I think the more you can, personally, I feel the more you delay that in the tournament, the more enjoyable it is for me to watch, because I wanted to see these players getting through skill and different matchups rather than, oh man, I got one opponent I'm really good against. Perfect, I'm through.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what
Yeah.
the most
Not much
fun
to say.
format for me to watch was?
Sure.
And I don't know if I'm going to get a lot of disagreement on this. I thought the MLG format was the most fun. Because the MLG format, for those who don't remember, it was like you had the open bracket going on,
Yeah.
And very few players would qualify through that. And I'm gonna amend this and say I don't mean the 2014 MLG format, because this also requires MLG to actually do some coverage whatsoever of the open bracket for this to actually like work out well. But you have like interesting stories of like super strong players who didn't necessarily get invited and everything making it all the way through the bracket. And then you had the groups that for all the players that qualified earlier on or like got invited or whatever. And they would play out their groups for seeding, and they would get seeded in like this enormous bracket. But like it was a very clear and concise storyline to follow of like, okay, here's the winners like bracket. There's like 4 players in it or something, and they play, and like, you know, because they came out very top of the groups, they're basically just going to get seeded into like the winners round of 4, which is fantastic. But the losers bracket was like this very clear line of like, this player is going to have to make it through these 8 players. It almost became like a King of the Hill in a weird way, where you could see the players who were going to be there, but like you had to earn your spot to be further down the line on that King of the Hill. And like, I don't think it was necessarily the best format for like showing who the best player was, but it was a damn fun format.
So it was an event. And what's interesting is that the chat's talking about, I guess, another aspect that I didn't really notice, to be honest, but that days are shorter now in Legacy of the Void. So like you have like a 4-day event where there's like 4 or 5 matches instead of like, you know, a whole big MLG thing where it goes even sometimes like 14 hours because the losers bracket took forever because Lake Canina was in the losers bracket, you know. So and there's pros and cons of that too, right? There's the pro where it's like, I loved going home on a Friday after school, and then at 6 p.m. MLG would start. Of course, it's a terrible time for Europeans, but still. And then watching it the entire weekend. But some people don't, you know. Some people like having just little snippets so they can watch and then they can leave. So there's an argument for that. But then going back again to, like, is it really... Like, viewership is obviously important. Like, they want higher viewership, but they also want to make sure that their costs at the venue and organizing this is as low as possible, too. And, like, it sounds to me that, like, it would be a lot more work to do MLG again because, first of all, it's an entire day. Again, like, it's a huge, huge deal. They have to organize an actual open, you know, tournament to it with a, you know, everyone can play with available slots and computers. And you have to find these community casters who a lot of them are going to be going to the events, like, you know, us, that might not be available. And, of course, you have to organize that as well to cast the open bracket. And it just sounds like a lot of work.
I honestly don't think it's that much work. But I think it would appeal a lot more if we had stuff like that for, like, literally everything. Not only viewership, but also, like, the communities themselves. Like, I think it would pay out a lot more to everyone individually if there's, like, an open bracket like that.
I want to point out why a lot of, sorry.
I think more content is just better. Like,
but
I don't know.
But do you get more content? Because I mean, obviously, if you're streaming for 14 hours, you get more content, right? But if DreamHack wanted to, they could stream for 14 hours too, and just give less of the round of 32 games to, the community casters, for example, on the first day, or they could save some for the second day. They could organize it so they could stream for longer. So I don't know. I think a lot of it's sort of maybe managing.
They could also not have 2 hours of downtime between games.
That's sort of
honestly, I think it's so much better to not have downtime. Like, so much better. Also, who the fuck cares? I think it's better to showcase some lower level games. Like, who wants to only see like the fucking one match every 2 hours? And it's like, kind of, it's good players, sure, but like no new players get any breaking out experiences. Whereas in MLG, you would see a lot of new faces. Like, there were a lot of new names in the, like, being streamed. It was just, a lot of people had insane experiences where they were in booths that they may not necessarily should have been in, but at the same time, who the fuck cares, right? It's a great experience for them. Who the fuck cares if it was 3-0 for one other person? But at least the matches weren't, like, 2 hours between each other.
Joe, what were you going to say before we...
So I was just going to say, from, like, a tournament organizer's perspective, most IEMs take place in like a Gamescom type event, right? Like, it's like a general convention. It's not just an IEM. So that like 300 feet of like prime floor space or whatever you need to run an open bracket actually costs like $20,000 probably. Like, it's crazy. When it's an MLG, it doesn't matter because the whole event's MLG. Yeah. They have the whole arena. When you're like at a Gamescom, having that open bracket space, it's like so like it could double like the cost of your prize pool. And I think that's why it's really unappealing for like an IEM instead of just throwing the players in a conference room where they can warm up but you couldn't really run like an open bracket there.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I'm talking very specific. Like this is IM specifically. But,
Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, IEM is about half our events. Like,
Yeah, even DreamHack, like thinking back
Yeah,
to
DreamHack.
Austin and where we went, like, you know, they would have had to have run it out another level. There's actually like an entire level in the convention center that we couldn't even go into, so I don't even know what was happening over there. But like that would have to be like another, like,
That's sort of
if it was as
interesting.
big as MLG, that
Because,
is,
like-
it would have to be even bigger.
At the 2 DreamHacks I went to, there was loads of unused space in the halls they had. So,
Was there?
yeah.
Then I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, it
Like,
obviously
smaller-
changes per event.
I don't understand. Smaller tournaments are able to do it. Like fucking LAN ETS is able to do it, and the tournament's much smaller with much less funds. Like I don't know.
yeah,
they
but
have
LAN
every
ETS, that
game
whole
in
event
fucking-
is ETS.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Right.
one thing when the whole event is that
The whole
LAN.
event is DreamHack too.
Yeah, and DreamHack has
Yeah,
to
so,
open
like-
brackets at every event except
Not
the
at- no,
champion,
Montreal.
except the championship events, and they can't because of Blizzard's rules.
Yeah. Well, for whatever,
Right.
well, Montreal, I really thought was gonna have an open bracket, because I think that was a championship, but
They have some
Anyway.
sort of side
Yeah.
bracket or something. I've heard.
Yeah, they've been bringing your own computer for $3,000.
Oh,
I don't know
did they?
why those. Yeah, I don't know why
Yeah.
those never get casted.
Yeah, it's kind of
That's
I
crazy.
also have one for Overwatch, so I saw. Okay, so I guess I was like half informed, I guess, so whatever. But anyways, then yeah, DreamHack would basically be the only ones that could do something like MLG though. But even then, I still think like that would be a much longer tournament.
I think it comes back to sometimes as well. Like right now, a lot of the organizations are building storylines, and creating stories has been something everyone's talked about more and more. I think as the years have gone by, and like obviously the MLG brackets create storylines, but then their argument is it's very hard to follow a story through an MLG bracket where this guy's literally playing like 10 best of 3s to get through the open bracket. You can see it after, but you don't follow each game. Whereas I guess with the single eliminations you get, you know, it's kind of pulls you back to like followers doing previews of the IEM matches. You know, it's very easy to kind of create a storyline for each match and to show every single game, and then, you know, every single game's been shown so you can refer later in the bracket to, oh, remember back then when someone just didn't get eliminated, we saw he was on the verge of defeat but he's still here, and stuff like that.
And you know, if I'm going to be completely honest, as someone who was purely a watcher back in MLG days, I feel like there was more hype. I could watch the Evo Genius guys that I loved watching and hearing about in the open bracket, but then the Koreans, right, were the ones that were in that winners bracket, and then eventually they clashed, and that was a big dramatic point that would not be able to happen here with the WCS system. And even if it was allowed to happen, there's still a whole missing issue of like, there's not, unfortunately, as hard as feardragon tries, there's not that same group of North American hopefuls that have. That's really a storyline that has died down since Koreans oversaturated the market. Evo Genesis has 2 players, you know, instead of 7.
Yeah,
In Control was playing back
basically-
then.
EG's basically out of it altogether now, right?
Yeah. So
Like-
I mean, we're on the up and up
Yeah.
again, right? Like Sidestorm Gaming's actually like, you know, they're getting a name, and you want to actually pay attention to the guys that are on that team. And
Root's
Actually,
been doing well.
Root, there you go. Root's
They're-
a good
Team
one as well.
Ascension has
Yeah,
gotten
I was
some
gonna say
players.
shout out to Team Ascension for getting their shit together. Like, they've been doing
Yeah.
really well lately.
It's on the up and up,
Lucky.
but it's still not back where it was in 2011, where it really was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, they're gonna
We're lucky
crush you guys.
people actually invest in StarCraft without choice of making money, or else we'd be completely fucking fucked. Like, completely fucking fucked. Like, if
That's
Sidestorm
what
went
you
into this
eSports
game,
for 6 years. It's fine.
if Sidestorm went into this game, we're like, alright, we're making money off of StarCraft. We'd all be fucked. And same with every other team who invests in StarCraft would also all be fucked. So, like, Team Ascension, Sidestorm, I mean, even Flipside, like, just all these teams that are supporting players, like, we're fucking lucky as shit that they're here. Like, I wouldn't be in Korea right now, I probably wouldn't even be a pro gamer right now if it wasn't for Sidestorm Gaming. It's directly sponsoring or supporting players, even though they're not making money out of it. Like, they're literally doing it because of their passion for StarCraft and the fact that they want to support us in the scene. So, shout out to them, because a lot of players in North America and Europe and everywhere would just be literally out of money if they didn't have that support from teams that literally go out of their way to support players without financial recovery.
Being a team owner is like such a thankless job right now. There's like there's next to nothing in it for them.
Yeah.
Literally next to nothing. Like, and it's so hard too. It's not an easy fucking job managing a bunch of children. But it's like being a tournament organizer, except you're doing it all the time.
Yeah.
Having to deal with children, but it's something that, like, I really wish Blizzard would have some support system for teams, just because they're the people that directly support players. I don't think like anything, like a team league, something sponsored by Blizzard, something that can give back to the teams that actually invest into StarCraft would be pretty good, like pretty decent thing to have happen. Because right now there's really nothing except for like a player doing really well in a tournament or something. But there's like, I don't know, it's just, there's no support for teams, and there's no sponsors. So like, I don't know how teams are supposed to actually recover the money.
Yeah.
Well, if you were Blizzard, what would you do to support teams?
Give them a way to like. Well, I mean, you could run in you could like sponsor a team league or whatever, but like at the same time, you could just do what all these other companies are doing for their teams, like allowing people to like buy stuff that supports the teams and stuff that gets shown off in game. Like, you know, like if my command center could fly like a Psystorm flag or something that people can buy for like $1 or whatever, even if not a lot of people buy it, it's still some money for the teams and some support. I think that's like one of the ways that a lot of people are. I mean, that's happens in a lot of other games, right? It happens in CS:GO and Dota and like stickers and whatever. I don't know. I don't follow the other games as much, but it's like, but that's kind of like one of the big things. Like, just if Blizzard actually allowed us to support the teams in game a bit or something. I mean, obviously the teams can do their own bit and sell their own merch and stuff, but it's so much, your team is very hard for a team to sell something that's like cheap. Like, I can't go and like buy a t-shirt from every single team or something, but I could buy like a $1 flag to stick on my command center from a couple of different teams or something, just to show my support. I think that'd be a really good way to help.
Even just
Very interesting.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah,
So-
it'd be interesting, but I wonder like if at a certain point there'd be, because the other thing that is so different than almost any other esport that's happening, except for like I guess fighting games, is that we're a 1v1 sport. So, like for some people, like for instance Pult, it'd be so much better for him to have Pult themed stickers than it would be for what was his team? CM Storm stickers.
He's not on CM Storm anymore. Envious.
Right, as it was his team. Oh, he has a new team. My bad. Anyways, but still Envious even. Like Envious is actually like a big name in other esports, but like I don't care that Pult's on Envious. I care that Pult's Pult. I feel like a lot of people would say the same thing. So without a team league,
that
or
works
something
for
that
bigger
is
players for sure.
more team centric, it's going to be hard to get team support as opposed to player support.
I mean,
You
I
need
don't
a
know.
team league.
You need a team league, because
I think-
I guess that's kind of forces teams to pick up players too, right? Because they need enough players to play, and they want to, as long as they want to play as well.
I think
Yeah,
a team
yeah.
league would be
I feel like
pretty
right
good.
now
It
a lot
doesn't have
of-
to be something fucking crazy either. Like it's just fucking just something that teams have to play in. Like right now,
Yeah.
if there were no team leagues, like what Wardy runs a team, there's like 2 team leagues. I don't even remember the last time I played in Clan War. It's been a while now, but it's just there's not much going on for team owners for like their players to play in. Like as a team, it's really cool working with your teammates and like getting to know them. Like me and Pilly, the cheesiest motherfuckers for each of our race, basically, on the same team. So like we're pretty good in team leagues. They're like best of ones and shit, but we don't really get to play them too much. I don't know. I wish there was something to get back to the teams though. Like it's just such a hard job to own a team. I'm
So
sure
I think-
Cebu agrees.
Oh yeah, the thing I wanted to say was that right now it actually seems more appealing for companies to pick a single player and sponsor them than it does
Yeah,
Exactly.
for a team.
which
So
is
it
basically
makes
what
sense.
like Pult has with Envious and like Ting with Neeb and stuff.
Yeah,
And Elevate with Masa.
Yep.
I think that makes the most sense, like as a team, because StarCraft isn't like a 5 versus 5 like game. It makes the most sense to have a 1 versus 1 style, but that really doesn't get the players the support that they need if you only have 1 player, and it also doesn't get the teams the exposure if the player isn't like top 8. Because the way the tournament system works, your exposure is very limited to like the amount of players that are actually capable of playing in the tournaments, because they get invited back so many times, and it's just like 8 people in the qualifiers. Like 8 people qualify, 8 people get invited, then 16 people altogether. I don't know.
Right. You
So-
bundle
hard for
the
a player
players
like
together.
me. It's hard for a player like me, basically, because I'm not top level, but I'm also not like terrible. It's just I'm in like the point where like I wouldn't get picked up by like one of those huge teams because I don't have enough exposure. But at the same time, I'm investing my life into this game, which because I'm almost there. I really want to be there, but obviously it's not something you just be like, okay, I'm gonna be fucking curious when I wake up or whatever. That doesn't happen. You have to put in a fuck ton of hours and shit. But
Someone said something interesting in chat that there was team leagues, but like the teams didn't take them seriously, which I don't understand because my team league is like smaller than Clan Wars and all of this, and every single team I talk to,
all kill format.
yeah, sure, but you play in my league for 3 months to win a portion of €2,000. You can play in for one night in Clan Wars and win $500 or something, or 350, 150 split. Like, I don't understand the concept that teams didn't want to play in that because it's so, like it's so much better money than my team league. It's so much more worth your time. So I don't understand how those previous team leagues didn't work. I don't know.
I think part of it could have been Total Biscuit mostly went after like super tier 1 teams.
Did he,
whereas
though?
You have like
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
don't
if you
even,
look,
we don't even have
like
to look at Total Biscuit. We have to look at Acer Team Story Cup.
Yeah, it's the Team
Okay.
Story Cup
Like
was
the
successful.
one most consistent thing ever, and it's dead not because necessarily the Acer's out of StarCraft 2, which they are, but because it was so terribly run. Like I'm sure the admins tried their best, and I know they did, right? But you had again EG, right? You had EG like have in control, have to be like played 2 times and forfeit 1 game. And then the other 2 guys were like, 15, 30 minutes late. They barely played. Like it was terrible.
actually,
I mean, they might be better now.
Too. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and say this too, but our team also has problems with like finding people at specific times. It's kind of sucks. Like we have full-time players. There's a lot of full-time players, but not like a full team worth of them. And there's a lot of. It's just hard to find like a pro team roster of like 5 people or 4 people.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I feel like I was playing in every single clan war because they didn't have anyone and I didn't want to say no. So, like, every single clan war I was asked, I would be in it. And I was, like, one of 3 or 4 people to show up. But it was me and Pili were always there. And then, like, the other people weren't full-time. So it was like, fuck, well, we're going to kind of patch together with who we have. But it's quite hard sometimes.
That's one of the problems. Like, if Blizzard really did want to run something, right? And I've talked about this before. I don't think it could ever happen because, first of all, the money would be extreme. Because I think they would need to have offline events, and there might be some like this and that offline and online, blah blah blah. But like, if it's only going to be online, but Blizzard sponsors it for like even something extraordinary like $50,000. You're gonna have to find people to run it consistently, which is gonna be difficult. Or you might have a new job, who knows? And you're gonna have the teams do the same exact shit because when it comes down to it, 2-3 players are going to be off at IAM Shanghai for multiple
if
teams.
Blizzard was like investing directly into like a team league and like people were actually having like compensation for playing and stuff like this, there would be less like people not being able to show up for it. You know what I mean? Like it's more of like a tournament at that point. It's more important. Not this is all theory because obviously we don't have anything like this.
Let me
If I had
ask
like
you
a
something.
direct salary, like LCS style, like direct salary to play in a team league, I wouldn't miss my fucking matches. I don't think most people would. But then again, I miss WCS, so fuck me, right? It's just like, I don't know.
Gun feardragon.
ShoutCraft Clan Wars paid out per match, not just per like the entire event. It paid out per match. I really was blown away that like I don't even know if like many teams did this, but like just split up the money amongst the people who like play or something like that. Like that is your incentive. Hey, you want to win money? Like show up and like win. Like you don't even have to do it. Say like I don't even know. Like that
works,
but that's what I mean. Like
there's not enough finances right now.
yeah, I
So,
mean,
like, for example, if I play Morty's Clan War and they're paying me $50 for winning a match, well, fuck, that's like a quarter of the whole fucking prize pool. You know what I mean?
Here's yeah. So
For
here's
one
the flip
match.
side, right? Like imagine like all of this happens and like you're partially salaried to play in team leagues and the prize pool is really great. We might have the same problem that Korea now has. Korea has this great infrastructure for team leagues, and that's fucking fantastic. But that means that they can't play in anything else because they literally focus on teams all the time. Like it's like an honor thing for them. Honor's the right word I'm looking for, but you know what I mean. It's a prestige thing. That's the word.
Yeah.
It's a prestige thing for them, and it's they're contractually bound to it, and it's like a friend thing too because they want to help their teammates practice for GSL. Like it's really hard to get them, and if you put too much priority on team leagues, and suddenly, yeah, actually the smaller tournaments, even some of the bigger tournaments, might hurt because of it.
Korea would be completely fucked if we didn't have a Proleague. I'm not gonna lie, like completely fucked.
If they didn't have Proleague?
If we didn't have Proleague here, they would just be there. Would literally be nothing.
So,
like there's so few events.
Yeah, it's really sad.
It's actually really sad. I'm gonna tell some stories about how I spent 2 months or 3 months at MVP, and I played in the GSL, SSL, and I was with them for a lot of their Pro League matches, and it was actually quite depressing. Like the state where like it would be like everyone's in the house, everyone's practicing 12 hours a day, practice. GSL qualifiers happen, and some people don't do so well, like Marine King, and then they just retire because there's literally nothing else for them to play in now for the entire rest of the season. There's nothing, so they just retire because the fuck are they gonna do for the next 6 months? And the whole house activity just dies, and everyone goes home. I was like one of 3 people still there after GSL and SSL because there was literally nothing for them to play in, so they all went home for vacation and stuff, which is kind of sad because I don't think any foreigners do that, where they're just like, oh, well, I don't have to play in anything, so I'm going home and not playing in anything or practicing at all. Because we have so many qualifiers, so many different things. But
there's so many online cups as well, right?
Nothing. So like
there's
the
like
whole
plenty of things to plan.
But there's more and more stuff to play in Korea now as well. Like there's Leifeng Cups, there's Doyu Cups,
online
there's
cups
Lima League.
I wouldn't say online cups are really the same thing though. For
Yeah,
Koreans.
sure, but I mean,
it's really not the same.
I don't
But
think
at the
anyone's
same-
going to disagree that only having 2 seasons of GSL and
The
SSL
point
is a bad
is,
thing.
what's the point of them practicing for like 12 hours a day for an online cup? Like,
Yeah,
I know,
there's
yeah,
not-
I was agreeing with
obviously.
you.
I think we will agree. Like,
so like the whole
it's-
house. I don't think teams are supposed to have vacations like they do right now. So like there are times where everyone just doesn't have to do anything for like a week because there's nothing for like a month coming up. So like they start to come back after like a week or 2 weeks. So like 2 weeks I would just be the only one playing and everyone else is just gone. Like some people don't give a fuck about that shit. Gumio just plays all day every day. He doesn't give a shit if there's vacation or not. But there were just people playing Overwatch and shit. Like it was just like very sad because I know they want to play in things, but they just can't. It's very sad. I don't know. It was very depressing seeing that, like the lack of motivation immediately after GSL and SSL, and like all the people just retiring and not coming back to the team house because they'd rather spend their time with their family than practice for nothing. I don't know.
all right.
That's my opinion.
Well, I think what we can take from this is that there's 1,000 different issues. I mean, I don't think there's ever going to be a clear conclusion. But it's quite interesting to hear everyone talking about it. But so Ravi just linked. There's literally just been a community feedback, which is somewhat interesting. They sort of talk about patching quickly or slowly. I haven't really been able to read it properly, but maybe worth talking about for a couple of minutes before we go and talk about IEM, Neo Star League, and wrap up for the day. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on whether they should patch fast or slow? Because obviously there's this kind of... it's been talked about a little bit lately where people are like, well, you should patch quickly because this thing's clearly broken. Then other people are like, well, maybe you should just wait to see how people start dealing with it and let the meta game evolve and stuff. Go on, Jake, you're laughing.
Like, if the patch sucks dick, then everyone's going to complain. If the patch is like, it's just everyone's complaining either way. It takes too slow, it takes too long, they're going to complain. If it's really fast but not like well tested, it's also not good. Like, honestly, and also before tournaments, some of these patches really suck. Like, it's just really hard to fucking balance around tournaments.
I think the frequency of patches is
worst,
actually... Sorry, go ahead.
One of the worst was DreamHack, where they just switched the map.
The maps.
Right.
We've talked about that last
That was
episode. Let's just not go into it because
Alright,
it's really just stupid.
But yeah,
The frequency of the patches is probably at its best point, I think. I see a lot more okay with the timings of patches, like thumbs up on like Reddit and stuff like that, than any time else. And people I've talked to, it seems to be like, yeah, the frequency of how they're looking at the game seems to be fine. It's the content of the patches that is questionable.
I agree. I think the patches are time-wise are actually pretty good, and they also like to time them well, where like they're not right before events. Like they actually don't do that. But the patches themselves can be really weird sometimes, where they don't actually benefit, or they benefit like you for the wrong reasons and shit. I don't know. It's just like I do think the queen buff is actually quite important, but like yeah, I don't know.
I think the more interesting thing to talk about when it comes to balance patches is like the second part of this update, right? They go on to talk about examples of when they patch too slowly and when they patch too fast, and then they go on to pro feedback. And every single time they mention pro feedback, it's Kespa, and I'm like, okay, and North Americans and Europeans, right? Like that, you're also pinging them, right? And like, I don't know. Even going to the summit, I still don't have a clear answer on if they do or not. And I know they've made a mention at one point, like, no, we don't just listen to Kes, but trust us, guys. But it really feels like they just do, or they give a lot more credit to whatever Kes.
I don't know of any North American or European people that actually give. Like,
right. So they said they did, and then like tweets came out saying they don't.
Do you know anyone that like has actively tried to though?
What do you mean?
I think,
well,
like, okay,
matter,
I'm just gonna say, like...
No, because, yeah, say what you will about Kespa, but they have, like, their shit together in terms of, like, talking
no,
to Blizzard.
hold on. No, Blizzard's establishes a connection with these players, and they have actually said in the past that they talk to North American, European players. That's them talking to them, not the other way around. So,
yeah, we
okay,
can't
fine,
reach out to them. Doesn't make any
you could
sense.
try and blame the players, but I think that's bullshit. I really
there's
do.
There's no real way for players to like output that kind of input. Like the guy, I don't have David Kim on Skype or something.
I'm just gonna say, people who went to the summit have like a. People who went to the summit and there were players there. Like they have the
contacts.
And they have like the. Yeah, it's not just the contacts. Like they have a direct feed line to communicate with.
It's very different to go to. It's very different to go to Kespa and say, guys, here are the issues that we're looking at right now. What are your opinions on this? And then Kespa comes back and says this, and this. It's very different than having an open communication with NoRegreT, and NoRegreT has a bad ladder day, and he's like, look, tanks fucking suck. Okay, tanks are the fucking worst, alright? Like, this is bullshit. And they're like, well, you might be right, but that wasn't what we were paying attention to, so, like, come back later. Like, that's totally different scenarios. And yes, does it help that Kespa is this giant, like, feed-in from the Korean mindset that might not even actually represent some other Koreans' mindsets? Yes, it helps for Blizzard to communicate with them. But that's still, like, still have this huge portion that need to be communicated to better from Blizzard. If Blizzard's giving this priority to this region, they should give the same priority to other regions.
Yeah, I also feel with the segregation of Korea and Europe and North America, like the segregation actually like really affects the fact that like we're talking to Korea specifically for like patches.
Yeah,
when the Koreans play completely different from the Europeans, like not even close. Like it's not even close at all. So like the patches that affect Korea could literally not affect Europe at all. And it just doesn't make any sense. Like I don't know everything about it. Yeah, and like when you buff queens, like buffing queens like that really affects both Zerg and like Protoss and Terran. And it's just like a totally different thing when you're not talking to Europe and North America. I don't know.
Like, say what you will about David Kim or like the way he balances and all that other stuff, but like the one thing I can definitely say, like I have always felt about the way he picks his balance patches, is that I feel like David Kim never blindly listens to anyone's advice. He always is like listening to whatever someone says, and then he evaluates whether he feels like it's true or not. Like I can't think of any time that I feel like David Kim has just been like, oh well, you know, innovation told me this, so I guess it must be true. Like let's change it.
I definitely agree with that. David Kim's actually a pretty like well-reasoned guy and like very level-headed, and that's great. But I think that there is, for him, and it's being confirmed in the chat right now, there is so much less hate from the general population to be like a Korean said this, so I think I agree with it, than if he had said NoRegreT said this and I agree with this, right? Like, no one's gonna be like, you listen to Innovation, but not NoRegreT? Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing, David Kim? So, I don't think it could be like something that's subconscious for David Kim, as it's subconscious in many of us, to be like, the Koreans are probably going to know what they're talking about. But again, I think that this, especially in this
They don't
year,
really
is such a
lose
difference.
anything. Like, they don't lose anything by talking to the Europeans and North Americans. It's just, there's no connection from us to Blizzard at all. Like, as far as I know. And I've talked to, like, almost everyone in the scene, and no one's like, oh, I have direct contact with David Kim. Like, Sasha talked about it a little bit. She's like, oh, I messaged David Kim about the fucking Liberator shit on Dusk, and he said he's gonna fix it. I was like, wow, like, good shit. Because she just, like, balance wines all day, every day about everything. But she's, like, the one person I know who's talking to David Kim, like, on Skype and Facebook, like, pinging him and shit, like, yo, fix this shit right now. But no one else does.
Yeah, that's like the first and foremost problem. Like, if you know, we have all these people, because there was that time on Twitter where, like, all these Europeans were like, no, we're not being contacted. They don't know who they're talking to. If they're saying yes, you're being talked to, but our opinion still isn't, you know, being weighed as heavily, then that's, you know, that's like the first step to another discussion.
Okay, people, this always, like, annoyed me when people refer to, like, that whole instance where, like, everyone was like, well, nobody said that, I wasn't being talked to and everything. Like, it was like everyone saying, like, raise your hand if you're not here, right? Like, that's what you're trying to figure out who he's talking to, and you're only getting people saying, like, no, they didn't talk to me, and you can't really make that assumption. Like,
okay,
I will actually say, like, if I were a player and I were talking to David Kim a lot, I would not want to be vocal about it, and I feel like everyone would
just at this point you have to be. This is beyond the point of, like, this is a little game.
Like, the top 16 in North America and Europe. Like, there's 32 people, possibly. Like, we're not looking at 1 million people. There's no one who actually has any contact with Blizzard when it comes to North America and Europe. Like, the only thing I know about is the summits, and the summits I honestly don't think they talk about balance much. I have no fucking clue because I'm not there, so anything I say doesn't affect an NDA. Okay? But from what I know, actually, I don't know, maybe the reason why they fly the custom players out is for balanced discussions, but I honestly have no idea. That could be the one thing where the North Americans and Europeans talk, but at the same time, I don't think so.
It doesn't.
There's just...
All right.
There's
so
NDAs everywhere.
so we like the patches. We like the patching good. I mean, it's a bit of a crappy community feedback. It literally just says, yo, we feel as though we're doing the right thing. It's just like one of these things like, hey guys, trust us. So.
Well, no, that's not fair at all. That's not fair. No, hold on.
Ruffy's sticking up for Blizzard.
Hold on. The entire point of the community feedbacks, and they've made this super clear, is that they want to, like David Kim said, like, hey, there are, like, random topics I would love to talk about that involve, like, the thought process and everything that we go through. And this is like, people said, like, would people be interested in that? And everyone said a resounding yes. And now he's doing that, and now we're complaining that he's
I'm not complaining. Okay, let me rephrase myself. What I mean is that this community feedback this community feedback doesn't add much to the pot. It just sort of, I mean, we know that they've you know what I mean. Like, it doesn't create anything like new.
Everyone knew what you mean. Feardragon to the 60%.
Come on, Ravi.
Anyway.
All right.
I want to say one last thing though.
Sure.
If we're wrong about this, that there are, like, a bunch of, like, top 32 players being contacted, that's fucking fantastic. I would love to learn that. Okay, go.
Yeah, I think so too, but I don't think it's true. I mean, I'm in contact with a lot of people from the scene, and no one fucking says that.
I want to make something clear, like, my standpoint. I totally agree, and, like, I actually am doubtful that, like, many players are being contacted, if any. And, like, I think that Blizzard should be contacting you guys, but I'm saying, like, let's move past the fact that there is an issue and think about, like, solving it. Why don't players actively try and reach out to, like, talk with them? And I understand, like, yes, ZombieGrub brought up the whole point of, like, NoRegreT has a bad day on the ladders.
Yeah.
But, like,
if players reach out.
Why don't teams reach out? Why aren't teams doing, like, the same?
This is why Scarlet gets fucking removed by David Kim on Skype, okay? You don't just go out of your way to complain about shit. This doesn't work. There's a lot of people who do that. Like Huck would contact David Kim too, be like, "Yo, dog, our depths aren't strong enough." You know what I mean? Like, fuck. Like, when you contact someone and without like being contacted first, I don't know. It's just a lot less merit when it comes to your.
Would you
opinion.
say that having a talk show where you talked about balance with a bunch of players would be really helpful? Because then, since we know Blizzard watches those,
that would be
really
shit
cool,
show.
right? Because I'm pretty sure since they watch
If you
them,
had-
then David Kim would hear all the opinions of all these pro players, right? Wouldn't
Dude,
that be awesome?
Have you ever sat in a fucking StarCraft convention? Jesus Christ. It's the worst. It's literally the worst thing ever. People throwing out their opinions left and right. Okay? And they're clashing, and then there's the memesters. You gotta watch for the memesters. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's why they ping the Koreans, because the Koreans don't have memesters, you know? Maybe that's why.
Penguin's a Korean meme.
Yeah, you gotta deal with the memesters in North America and Europe.
Alright. Let's move on, because otherwise we're gonna go around in circles forever about this.
I wanna go to sleep. It's almost 3 in the morning.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's talk about the Chinese events in Pro League, and I think we'll call it there also. So let's go into IEM Shanghai. Let me update this thing that says upcoming events or something, whatever.
I'm making my
Pro
goal
production.
when we talk about Pro League to go back all the way to the team like stuff again.
Okay,
Oh,
Rami,
God.
can you not, please? Okay, IEM is obviously already underway. We have one semi. This is kind of weird. We have one semi-finalist already decided, and the rest of the quarters and the semis play tonight, and then the finals is tomorrow. Have I got that? I can't.
Yeah,
This
that's right.
this is the third day that's coming up, right? So we've got the rest of the quarters and the semis today, and then the day after is the
4 days.
finals and the Pro
Damn.
League finals. Yeah, I haven't been able to watch
Yeah.
any IEM. It's been like I
Oh,
think
does that mean all the
I watched a
Tesla
little
players
bit.
are like out there right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's so many people in China right now, in Shanghai
Yeah.
specifically.
That's why
It's,
Valdez is casting Shanghai, I think, because like he's there for Pro League anyways.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Smart.
Because the
And
ESL is
ESL.
not casting Pro League. Spo TV is doing it, just with ESL production, I guess.
Yeah.
Spoke TV.
Alright, so, I mean, let's just quickly talk Showtime in the semi-finals, taking down Ayasonu and Masa. I don't think that's too surprising.
Masa played quite well.
I didn't
For
get to
that
see the games,
series?
I won't lie. But
Masa played sick.
really?
Yeah.
I mean, it was
and
a free
also,
two.
Masa
so-
did really well against Showtime in Home Story Cup too. I'm really like happy with his ZVP or TVP in particular. Like Showtime is like a fucking beast when it comes to PvT, and even some people would consider Protoss slightly stronger than Terran in the current meta. But fuck, man, those games are really sick. Like all
bit
those games are
of
sick.
a rivalry starting up. But still, I'd say Showtime
Okay.
probably. I mean, nice to see
Showtime is
Masa put
supposed
up
to
a
be
fight,
the
but
overwhelming favorite, right?
Yeah.
Like Showtime is one of the best
Yeah.
foreigners out of everyone.
sure.
And Masa is not considered one of the best foreigners out of everyone. Like, maybe one of the best North Americans, but definitely not one of the best foreigners. And he always seems to do really well against Showtime, which is good.
Alright. Move on down. We got the classic rivalry of 2016. Neeb Hydra in the quarters. They moved 3-3-0
Yeah.
against Tudming Ender in the round of 16. Can someone explain to me why these guys just meet every single tournament? I can't actually think
Well,
of the last
if you
time they
keep
didn't play
winning-
each other.
You
I think
will
it's 'cause
eventually
they're
hit.
literally
It's
each
always in
other's
the round of
tournament.
8, it seems. I know it was in the finals at Austin and whatever, but it's like, it just always happens though.
Yeah, it seems like the earlier in the bracket, the more Neeb wins too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
that's true.
I think there's a reason for that too.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's
And that would be
coincidence.
completely because of the experience, the lack of experience.
We
from you
literally
on
had
right
this
or off
discussion
the-
like an hour ago.
Or
What?
maybe Neeb's
Shut
just
the
not
fuck up.
good enough to win a best of 7. Said no one ever.
Runs out of Protoss builds, man. Feels bad. Okay, let's do some predictions then. Ravi, I want to hear your prediction for Neeb Hydra. Score, go.
Neeb 3-2.
Oh, okay. Jake,
Need 3-1.
Joe,
Neeb 3-1.
ZombieGrub.
Time to be extreme. I think let's go 3-0 either way, depending on if Neeb's on a good day or a bad day.
Wow.
All right,
Wow.
I'm gonna go against.
What up?
I'm gonna go against the rest of you and say Hydra's gonna win 3-2. I believe this time. I just
America.
believe this
I
time.
feel like I feel like the biggest thing in my mind, and like ZombieGrub kind of touched upon this, is like I think that Neeb, and I'm like speculating here. I don't really know if this is true, and I've heard other people talk about this. I think that Neeb may just be like overhyped, not in the sense that like people are saying he's better than he is, but like everyone constantly saying like literal god Neeb, savior of the entire foreign scene, he's gonna beat all the Koreans come BlizzCon. Like that's a lot of pressure. That's not a fun place to be.
Yeah.
And you can very, very easily tell, like, if you ever talk with him or whatever, or even, like, you hear him in an interview, he does not really enjoy people constantly referring to him like that. He even made that tweet the other day where he was like, guys, like, I'm not, like, playing terribly. Like, I played well. It's just, like, I'm not as good as everyone keeps talking about.
We already
Like,
sort of talked
I
about this tweet a little bit. I think it was just before you came on. We talked about the exact same thing, like, in the Valencia discussion. Because, like, we just said, like, he can tilt a little bit. Alright. Moving on down to continue covering this bracket. We got Uthermal versus eLaser. Uthermal 3-0 Snoot, last minute replacement. That's pretty... I genuinely think that's pretty sick because Uthermal, like, it sucks for Snoot. But Uthermal flew in, like, the night before, like, 16 hours. He doesn't have, like, the 2 extra days everyone else had. And he played, like, the first match of the day as well, if I'm not mistaken. Like, that's pretty brutal to like, go from a 16-hour flight, get to your hotel. You were stranded in the lobby as well, apparently, for ages.
I was mad as fuck for Snoot. Like, oh,
yeah, obviously.
So mad.
But 3-0,
He lost to 3Rex Reaper twice.
Did he really? I haven't seen any of the games.
3Rex Reaper, and the third game was a proxy 3Rex Reaper.
Disgusting.
That's some real terror, man.
Tearing it up.
And, like, Snoot was even up in game number 2. Like, he was just straight up ahead. But Uthermal took some seriously sick engagements in, like, that second game and came back. Like, he actually played... Like, I'd say the second game, like, he really earned that victory.
So tired.
Alright. It's okay, Jake. Jake, what do you think about Puck losing to eLaser?
In the morning. Honestly, I think it's too unexpected. Like, I think Puck's pretty good, but... after seeing his games versus Stefano, I felt he was kind of shaky in this matchup in particular, so I'm not too surprised that eLaser won, but yeah, I thought it might have been a little bit closer, like more like a 3-2, like really close game kind of thing, but yeah, eLaser looked pretty dominant, honestly.
Alright.
I'm not sure who I would give the edge to in eLaser versus Thermal, though.
I think it can go any which way. I think it's a very even matchup.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll just move straight on to Violet and Nurture. No real surprise, I don't think. Cyan...
Wait, you don't want to talk about Violet versus Haas?
Well, I was just about to say, like, Haas takes a map,
You don't want
Cyan
to talk
takes a map.
about Haas trying to 5-pylon wall in King Sejong Station's ramp?
And
Honestly,
it almost worked.
I don't fucking know what he was thinking. Like, as a third player, that's not even that fucking bad to lose your nat. Like, it fucking sucks, but the fuck is that? That's like the biggest commitment ever. And you just drop on your face or something. Like,
Well,
this isn't hard as
Jake,
form.
if you saw game number 1, the problem is after you lose your natural, he follows up with triple Stargate and makes like 12 oracles and kills
So
you.
dumb.
Yeah, but game 1, there was huge investment in defense, and it didn't really pay off, and he lost a lot, and it was totally different. Like, I wasn't just losing your natural for 5 pylons and 1 cannon, it was a lot more than that. But you saw, like, the other games. I don't even think Violet's defense was good in any of those games, but still defended it, like, all 3 games, or whatever, was after the fucking first counter rush. I lost count of how many counter rushes it was after the first one. But, yeah, after the first one, I still felt he wasn't holding it great, but he still held, you know. Like, that Frozen Temple game was very sloppy defense, but he defended it still, right?
Yeah.
You guys, I'm actually this Cyan guy, he's been playing really well lately. He's been qualifying to, like,
Do you
lots of
mean
these events.
Cyan?
Cyan, yeah. Cyan is a badass.
Is it really Cyan?
Cyan's pretty cool.
Is it really?
No,
Oh, is that just how you like to say?
Valdez and Todd kept calling him Cyan.
Oh,
He was
really?
tilting everybody.
It sounded like he was saying the old community manager's name, like Cyan.
Me and Sasha played him a lot on in like doing a cup and stuff. He's actually been really good. And also ladder, he's been really good.
He just qualified for Mexico, actually.
I think he's better than most of the Chinese, like, you know, like the Chinese Zergs are always like the ones that are kind of talked up. I think he's better than them by a lot. So we'll
Scarlett
probably
was
see him
saying-
qualify for China.
Scarlett was saying like she thought that he was actually better than, or like was had like a really good chance of beating Nurchio. She was actually saying like before the match like, yeah, I think that he might like end up beating Nurchio, but it's like this, you know, like the problem that foreigners always had, where it's like, oh, I'm facing off versus a Korean, like I'm probably gonna lose, and then you just like, and then because of that mentality, you end up like doing worse. Scarlett was saying that like a lot of the Chinese and Taiwanese players feel that way playing even against like foreigners or like Koreans. So she felt like he didn't really play his best.
Right, I agree with that. And then there's another experience thing. Like how many times Simon actually made it to the, an offline event. It'll take some time before he takes down someone who's as consistent as Nurchio, in my opinion.
Yeah, Cyan's been doing really well, like within the Chinese domestic scene, like the GPL and those internal tournaments. Like he's been really shredding it. But it's always hard to tell when you're dealing with like an isolated scene, whether that's due to a fall off in skill of the other players or like his skill like skyrocketing, you know?
Yeah. I agree.
Kind of
Yeah,
sucks.
Kevin, calm your
nobody really
fucking mate.
What?
Go on, Ravi. NoRegreT's just being
Oh.
NoRegreT's literally been the pain of this show. He's the reason.
I mean,
he's
he's
the
basically.
He'd be 50% less of a pain if he wasn't a robot.
Yeah, that's true.
I can leave.
Cursing robots.
Delayed all the time in his comebacks.
All right, Violet Nurchio. I think Nurchio wins. I think Violet's not really been Violet this year. I think it's been a long time since we've seen Violet be like at the proper top of his game. But anyone feeling any different? Anyone feels like Violet can take off Nurchio? Or
No.
I think take a game off of Nurchio, maybe.
okay,
I
sure.
actually would say 3-0 for Nurchio.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty one-sided.
Yeah,
Oh,
too.
I think so too.
All right.
Nurchio's outclassed Violet.
In that case, before we leave Shanghai, let's. I want everyone to pick one player they think's going to win. I'm going to say Nurchio's going to take 2 tournaments in a row. Ravi, what do you think?
Ooh.
Has
Come
Ravi
back
died?
to me in a second. I'm thinking. I'm
Okay,
looking through this
okay.
bracket.
Wow,
Okay.
just go with your gut, man.
No,
Come
believe.
on.
You know what my gut
think
is, but I'm trying to find a real answer.
The winner of the other best of 5, like the winner of not Nurchio's best of 5, but the upper best of 5 wins the whole thing.
The winner of
Okay.
Neeb Hydra. Oh, you mean just
Neeb
the winner of
Showtime.
the? Okay, the winner of the top side of the bracket.
I'm just
I-
gonna assume it's Neeb.
I don't know. I don't
But-
think
Actually,
Neeb can
yeah,
beat Showtime. Showtime's got like insane PvP. It's like
If Neeb
ridiculous.
does beat Showtime,
They're
I
pretty
think
back
she
and
just
forth in the Yord Civil War thing.
wins. Yeah, we'll
So.
see. That's my opinion. I think Showtime should be able to beat Nurchio in the finals too. Neeb too.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I think that.
Time or need.
Yeah.
Joe?
I think Uthermal is going to make it to the finals.
Yeah.
That's my crazy prediction of the day.
You-
The
Oh, I
end
know.
board here.
I know.
I will owe you a can of soda if I meet you, if that happens.
I'll owe you more than a can of soda if that happens. I love Mark, but fuck.
But yeah, I think the winner is the winner of that top bracket, Showtime versus whoever.
So you're basically picking 3 players. I mean, that's
No,
slight.
actually,
We're gonna
I think we're really saying Neeb is gonna win.
Okay. All right.
MVP
Try
Showtime.
not to put pressure on him.
It was a roundabout way to say Neeb's gonna win. So
I hope he wins because I want a trophy for our fridge.
What fridge?
Your fridge.
Isn't like
Yeah.
the IM trophy actually pretty big?
Well, our
Oh.
fridge is gonna be like, you know when your parents like stick something on the fridge for like a magnet, like oh you did well, well here you go. The fridge is gonna be our trophy
Oh.
rack.
Okay.
I thought you were saying you were
None
gonna
of
put
them
it in
are
the
gonna
fridge.
Yeah, there's
You could put it in the fridge.
I was like, do you not have a shelf?
No, I don't think they do. Okay. Right. Did you just pick a player, feardragon?
No, I was actually
Are you
going
gonna
to
frame?
say like, I think that Neeb is gonna do a relative. I think he's gonna like barely edge a win out on against Hydra. I think he's actually gonna lose versus Showtime, or he's gonna lose in the finals. I think that Uthermal or Nurchio is gonna win, and I've been trying to figure out who I think is gonna win there. I think it might actually be Uthermal.
Okay. Wow. Some Uthermal love. All right. Obviously, I am Shanghai.
Thermal's gonna win the tournament. Whoa.
saying.
Let's back this fucking bus up. Robbie, you think U-Thermal versus Showtime, U-Thermal's gonna win the whole thing, the whole tournament?
Yeah, that's true. I think that U-Thermal will probably lose to Showtime, but I think U-Thermal would beat Neeb.
I think if Showtime makes it, it's pretty much guaranteed that Showtime wins. And the only reason why Neeb might not make it is because of his own mental state.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, I don't think Neeb's gonna lose because like he's a worse player or anything. I think he's gonna lose because he's a less experienced player, and like I still feel like right now more than ever he's like dealing with mental blocks or whatever.
The same thing though. U-Thermal tilts off the face of the earth too. So like, if U-Thermal plays Neeb, he can also tilt. So I don't know.
Ultra appears and he just tilts the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, I'm
making a dark horse prediction. Okay, I believe in U-Thermal.
All right. I'll owe you a soda.
All right. Also, I am Shanghai is the Pro League Finals. KT versus Jinair. First matchup there is Stats versus Cure. I'm a KT fanboy. So
Jinair, SKT is best KT, so therefore Jinair is better than KT. Yes.
But I mean, SKT didn't even make the playoffs.
I mean, let's talk about this. But Jinair is there to represent.
Dude, do you know how sad MVP was when the finals of the fucking clan war relied on Curious versus Leenock? Holy fucking shit. Everyone in the MVP house was losing their minds because that determined whether they were top 4 or not. And it was like the most volatile DBZ for an ace match ever. They were all losing their shit. And then like I was the only Zerg player there, so like 10 of them were speaking to me in like broken English. Like, oh, who's winning right now? Because it's 13-12 versus Hatch first. And it was like a drone scout Hatch first. So they were like all losing their shit. And then like, oh my god, it's crazy as fuck.
It was a really crazy round of Pro League in general.
That was so crazy. Like that CDC as like the decider. Oh my god, I don't even know. Oh, what the fuck KT was thinking sending Leenock as their ace. Oh my god.
I genuinely just always underestimate Jinna. Like, I don't know why. I just always forget that they've actually got a really sick team like Cure, Rogue, SOS, Maru. It's a really sick lineup.
I think green's just an unintimidating color.
The color choice. I don't know, that MVP logo is really not scary.
Yeah. The MVP logo is very,
I feel like the MVP logo, though, I've seen it long enough. I like, it looks professional. It looks like we got our shit together. But
maybe because it has been around for so long that I underestimate it. I mean, they went through some bad times.
They changed their jerseys very recently. Like, they're now black jerseys. Like, literally, I saw them when I was leaving for this house, that they had new jerseys.
Great
I'm
insight.
gonna say the Jinair jerseys look a lot better than the CJ yellow, okay, of any type.
I like the Samsung jerseys. They're like cool. I don't know. They're weird but cool.
Jinair definitely is the best one.
What's weird about the Samsung
I like
jerseys?
Jinair. I like the ties, the skinny ties that are like screen printed on.
Yeah, the tie shirt and the jacket they have are all pretty baller.
They were like the only shirt they didn't have at DreamHack Austin, and I really wanted one.
Right?
Like I got a KT
do
roster
like
one.
throwback Pro League shirts. You know, you'd have SKT with like the martial arts jerseys or whatever that Boxer had, like 2005.
Or like just
I'd
straight up
buy the shit out of
spacesuits,
that.
like 2003.
Oh my god, do that, please!
The helmets and shit they made them wear.
Fog effects in the background. Amazing.
They're playing on like Legends of the Lost Temple, like thrones.
Amazing.
Okay, KT Jinna. Are we
done yet?
Is it in the air? I mean, what do you think, Jake? KT or Jinna? Go.
It's in the Jinair. Get wrecked.
It's in the air. In my opinion, both teams are insanely good. I don't know. It's just I couldn't predict either one. They're just both by far the most dominant teams, right? So fuck those. As long as Leenock isn't counted as KT's ace. I guess it's all kill. Fuck.
It makes it a lot more volatile. Like I think the first win is way more important now.
I think anyone can win, really.
I think Stats should still win the first match.
Yeah, I agree. I think Stats wins. I think Stats wins, and I think KT just win overall with the advantage of being 1-0 up initially.
But you
Yeah,
you sent
definitely
Maru
not
out after Cure, right? Because you know
KT5.
exactly what stats is going to do in PvT. And then like maybe Maru just steamrolled because he's Maru.
Maru is like pretty much the ace. So if you send him out really early, you're actually at risk of having these.
Is he the ace or is SOS the
Maru.
ace?
You get a revive and all kill, right? You get a
No,
revive.
no, no,
Maru's
no,
the
no.
ace.
There's no
Has Maru
revive.
lost a game in Proleague yet? I haven't kept keeping track.
I think he lost one. I can't remember. He's definitely not undefeated. It's not low.
Maru's
He was
lost his
13
S, I'm
and 0
pretty
for a
sure.
time, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he
13
was
and
on
1 or
He's-
something?
He's 24 this season, which is still pretty sick. But stats is actually at the top of the player stats with 24-6 this season, which is also
Stats
pretty.
is insanely good. Stats
I
actually
mean-
probably one of the best players in the open bracket at GSL Qualifier I think I've ever seen, which is NoRegreT. Lost 2-1 to stats.
How many Zerglings did you make?
Proxy hatched him.
No regret.
Proxy. Best of 3 at Proxy hatched him twice.
Sounds right.
Wow.
And that's why it should have been best of 1, right?
If it was the best one, we would have won. Just good.
Best format has
I
just
was-
been. Alright. feardragon, KT, Jinair. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with KT just because I think the combo of stats and zest is like ridiculous. It's very- and like TY, like that trio is just like insane to me.
Joe?
I'm gonna say Jin Air.
Yes.
Okay. Pretty split. I think it can go anywhere. KT for life, but I think this can go any which way. Alright, pretty cool that's being played in China. Any thoughts about that? It
But-
being played somewhere else?
I'm really excited for the English stream audio to work
Oh.
since ESL is handling production.
Uh-huh. So,
Uh,
I guess, like, do you know what time it's going to be on?
It's
When the finals end, they're just gonna host SPO TV, and it's gonna already be live.
I don't think it's been. I think it's on the same Twitch channel actually. I think it's on ESL's Twitch.
No,
channel.
it's not. It's not.
Are you sure?
Is
I
it
thought that's
the
why I
night-
read in
Yeah,
the
if-
ESL
War
chat.
Times?
40, if you're in
Yeah.
that ESL chat, they talked about it. It's not gonna be on SPO TV,
I thought
and
that's
foreign casters can't keep casting it.
yeah. No,
Like, so,
but
like, Take TV can't cast Pro League
yeah,
finals.
I know, but that's why I mean they all said to host the ESL stream because that's where it was going to be.
No, they said host SPO TV.
Really? Okay, I'm not gonna.
I'm looking at it now.
It
but
doesn't.
yeah.
Okay, people. Alright, let's call
It doesn't
our
matter.
fucking sit
Anyways,
down.
Anywho, yeah, I guess
Anywho.
I've already talked about this with like a bunch of other people, like internally, I suppose. But just like I was really surprised that a lot of people were that excited for it, and I was kind of along the lines with people that are just like kind of like, what's the big deal? And people have convinced me that it's a bigger deal for what it could mean in the future to have Pro League in a foreign country. Because while China really isn't that far away or even that different really for time zone and time of broadcast and whatnot,
Yep.
and availability to get to for like fans who want to go see a Pro League, it is like maybe in the future they could have like it at Las Vegas like they had the GSTL that one year, and in that way I guess it's exciting. But for me, if it's not going to be, it's still going to be on at a somewhat bad time. I mean, it's still going to be late at night. Not, like I can't go to it
I
now
think
like I went to last year.
the Chinese fans, though, it's really good for the Chinese fans. Like China
Yeah,
actually has
it's
a huge
great for
fan
them.
base in StarCraft.
Yeah.
Like China's fan base in StarCraft is actually quite large, so it's good for them, and then it is good for like the potential of having Pro League at a North American or European event in the future. I think China is really just a test to see how it goes, and it's by far the safest test too, because really it's like 2 hours away by plane from here, no time difference really. I think it's like 1 hour difference. So it just makes sense if you're going to do a foreign event for the first time. It probably is the best to do it in China. Like the turnout won't be bad, and it's safe for the players. So it makes sense.
Do you think there's going to be a viewership carryover from like people who want to tune in for Pro Leagues and like, oh, I'll tune in a little bit earlier and watch like the finals for IEM, and vice versa, people finishing watching IEM and be like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, there's Pro
Yeah.
League on,
Oh,
like
yeah.
I guess I'll watch
Yeah,
that.
yeah, for sure.
I mean,
There'll be some
it's,
carryover.
I think it's always like that, though, right? I mean, if it was just like any sort of longer broadcast helps, but I think most people that would tune in for Pro League would tune in for like IEM finals, anyways. Surely, I don't know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe that's just me
Finals
being.
generally
Plus the
covers.
Koreans.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a large just Korean base that only watch Korean StarCraft.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's what I was about to say. Anyone else got thoughts on it being in China? I mean, for me, it doesn't really. I mean, it actually puts it at the worst time for me to watch it, so kind of sucks. But
Good for
Is
me.
this our last topic?
Good for
we're going to
me.
talk about Neo Star League, and that was going to be it.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, 'cause I gotta go soon.
Yeah, me too. I'm fucking dying.
Okay, great.
Okay.
So, like, on a 45-minute
All right, do it.
discussion, how do they account
Okay.
for no-shows at a Chinese event? Because we're
Can you
talking about
not?
team leagues, and let's go back to the fact that team leagues have problems getting people to show up.
feardragon, I am literally about to hang up on you. Right, we're going to very quickly talk about
Who
Neo
invited
Star
Ravi?
League.
You did what?
No one? Who did that? I don't know.
Right.
Oh, it's Jessica.
Right. Neo Star League is going to take place straight after IEM Shanghai. It starts on Monday. I'm going to be producing an English restream on my stream. It's like midday
nice.
European time. Yeah, they were like, you're not meant to stream
wait.
it.
They told me that I was gonna take care of it.
Really?
Yeah, at first they told me
Oh.
it couldn't be anywhere because of
Right.
Do You. I don't actually care. I can't do it, so that works better for me. But they asked me if I could put a stream together yesterday.
Really?
So you're putting it on your channel. That's awesome. Now I don't have to do anything.
They literally told me like a week ago I could do it. That's really weird.
Oh, do you have the broadcast? Do you have the broadcast times then, Wardy?
They start at like yeah, I do. Hang on. It's like
Okay.
it's like right in the middle
This
of
is for
NA
something
even.
else.
But
So
it's-
you can send me that on.
Yeah. It's on. Yeah, I can send it. So yeah,
Oh,
so basically it's it's like a $60,000 event for anyone that doesn't know, and it's got a mixture of foreigners, parting, and Chinese players, which is kind of interesting. Like I don't know why parting is there out of nowhere. Like he's not been anywhere.
He
for-
lives there, and the title sponsor is
in
Do
China.
You, and he streams on Do You. That's why.
Well, that's why then.
that makes sense.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
didn't know
Okay.
Party lived in China.
There's no
I
WCS
think Party
points, right?
played
It's
at
just
all,
money.
Honestly.
No, it's just money. It's no WCS. But it's
He's
a lot
on
of
the
money.
Chinese team,
It's like-
isn't he?
Parting? Is he really?
Oh,
No,
was.
parting his team.
Or he
He's
was.
teamless at the minute.
Yeah.
He was on a
Party hasn't done
Taiwanese team.
anything- Party hasn't
Taiwanese
done
team,
anything
sorry.
in so long.
Taiwanese.
I think we're going to be very disappointed in Party's level of play.
Yeah.
Having
I
played
think he's
him on
gonna
ladder,
Stefano his way to victory.
he's not going to Stefano.
It's a surprise.
I will bet
It's gonna
you
be like
1,000
ShoutCraft Kings. We're gonna be like, what the hell is
I will
happening?
bet
I thought
you
Immortal
1,000
Century wasn't a thing
Snickers.
anymore.
He will not do well at that tournament. 1,000 Snickers.
He's gonna Soul Train his way, I believe.
Well, he's not.
So
There's no soul
besides-
in Legacy Void.
you can try and make one. Besides like the players that are going, am I the only one who is completely blindsided by this tournament? I mean, apparently
It's
you were
been-
contacted and Wardy's casting it, but
Yeah, they announced it about a month and a half ago, and I threw a thread up on Reddit when they announced it, and it got 2 upvotes for
Yeah.
some reason. So
nailed it. Yeah,
It's been
yeah.
a-
I had no idea it was happening because Bly's there too, so I have to coordinate for the Ting finals.
Yeah. It was
this goes
it's
back
like a
to
Team
that
Liquid
problem,
thread
nobody-
with one post on it as well. Like literally no one cared about it as an event. It was
Yeah.
really
Nobody
weird.
follows the Chinese scene.
Yeah, shit.
The
Nobody
only reason
does
why I know about
it.
it-
Breaker was like the
Yeah,
one
it's
person.
true.
hey, I've
Yeah.
been the Chinese guy since Breaker
Also-
fell off. Come on.
Okay,
man.
yes, that's actually true. Like Nerd Street Gamers and formerly Esports Heaven and
Esports
stuff,
Heaven, yeah.
the stream, that actually did coverage, but I'm not gonna lie, Joe, not a lot of people followed it.
Yeah, no,
It
no, I know.
sucks.
We would peak at 800 viewers for the finals for a $20,000 tournament.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's so dumb because
So,
it's
you
like
have to-
Jake was
the,
saying.
the
they're actually some good
Chinese,
players.
there's a fuck ton of Chinese viewers, though.
Yeah.
Those events
Yeah.
are insane amount of Chinese viewers. So I think Twitch stream is actually completely irrelevant when it comes to those viewers because Chinese viewers are much higher number. It's on Douyu or whatever the fuck they're using.
Yeah, and the Chinese
it's
organizers
the
don't give a
frequency.
fuck about English viewers. They do not give a
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
They really don't.
The way they do all their tournaments are really weird. Where so it'll start at 2 or 3 a.m. Eastern, and it'll be 2 best of 3s, and it's done for the night. And the tournaments tend to go for a week and a half.
Yeah.
Why is that,
That's
by
almost
the
like a
way?
league format.
You brought that up. It starts from the 1st to the 7th or something. Why is it so long? How are they
It's
spacing out the cast?
They're doing
I think it's on TV in China, and I think they it has a time slot. I think that's why they do it like that.
it's just gonna be a group a day, and then there's one day without games, and then the last 2 days are round of 8, and then round of 4 and finals. So it's kind of weird though, but I guess it's just If it's got a TV slot, then I guess it makes sense to like keep it within.
The TV slot.
It starts in like
Well,
the
it's not
Chinese
like-
evening time as well, so it's like it is in the evening for the China. They don't use the
It's
entire
like a
day.
3-hour cast.
Or
Something
is it
like
China?
that. Yeah, 3-4 hours a day.
Ow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is the same team. If anyone watched WCS Shanghai, like the one that Hearthstone won, it's the same production team. So, like, the production, everything will be on point. It's just this weird, stretched out tournament.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of exciting. I mean,
Is it happening at something else?
what?
It's
Like
a
at some
Blizzard.
server.
It's a big Blizzard thing. There's going to be a Hearthstone tournament there. That's the other reason they do it like this. Hearthstone, Heroes, and StarCraft all share the same stage at this hall, and they cycle the games throughout the day. And probably Warcraft 3 too. There's usually a Warcraft 3 tournament.
That makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw that.
A Warcraft 3 tournament.
Right?
All right. Well, I
Alright.
mean, there's a mix of players. You can see the groups on the screen. We won't go through each of the groups, but I think it'll be kind of interesting to see kind of some of the Chinese players up against the foreign players on an offline event. I think some of the Chinese players actually have a good chance to get through the groups and to play well. So, be interesting to see how the mix turns out. So yeah, if anyone else anything else to say about your Star League, feel free. Otherwise, we'll start wrapping this up.
Let's wrap this up.
Yeah, I'm so hungry.
I mean, I would love to talk about.
No,
why
no, no!
Nautral
Don't even
Expansion-
start.
I gotta
I
go to the beach, Fear Dragon!
Right, let's
go
wrap it up.
right. Let's go. Outros. No regret. Shoutouts. Go.
Follow me on Twitter at NoRegreT. Follow my team at Storm Gaming. They fucking deserve it. I love you guys.
Joe. Go.
You can follow me at NSGJoe on Twitter, and if you go to our website, nerdstreetgamers.com, we've got the replay pack from Cheesadelphia and a blog I wrote about running it. Any traffic is super awesome to us.
ZombieGrub. Go.
Follow me on Twitter at ZGGaming and on Twitch, ZombieGrub.
Ravi. Go unless you're gonna go forever.
Fear Dragon 64 and everything, and not Fear Dragon 69, because that's another guy.
Really?
Fuck it. I've been following
There's,
around.
I think it's someone trying to impersonate me, but the name 69 instead, but I don't know.
That's kind of funny. Alright guys, this was Natural Expansion episode 2. Thanks for watching. Hit the follow button on the stream. I don't have much else to say. I'll put my social media in the chat, and I'll see you all. I'm live, I think, maybe tomorrow. I can't remember. I've got a sub tournament to play in tomorrow if you're a sub, so you can play in that. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for all the guests joining us, and we'll see you guys next time.
Wow, fuck Moobot. What is this shit?
What? You getting banned? Good.
Why am I not a mod?
Why are you not a mod? You wonder why after all this. Guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.